mid-60s. Sunny skies on Thursday with highs in the mid to upper 80s. Mostly clear with an isolated chance for a thunderstorm in the north Thursday night. Lows in the mid to upper 50s. I'm Matthew Harding with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by COP CDL Academy. Want a life-changing career? Give them a call today at 479-632-1050 or check them out online at copcdlacademy.com.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, you're listening to ESPN 95.3. ERX Paris Fort Smith. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that could respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Even one Razorback.
Is vintage Matt Jones.
The Cinderella story is over, man.
Let's go.
Caller text 877-377-6963. Now here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Hello and good morning and welcome in. Halftime is underway. It's 11:01. It's a gorgeous day in northwest Arkansas. The sun is shining brightly. It's a great day to be outside fishing at some point today. I'm Phil Elson, Matt Jones, my partner, and Christian Johnston in the studios today. And we'll have you for the next 3 hours. Good to be with everybody. Yesterday, Matt, was the announcement of the Darius Acuff shoe. We had people on the text line earlier this morning wondering where they can put an order in for one of these, which I think it's not even being developed until closer up to the draft. But we've got a state that's ready to buy this shoe already before we even know what this thing looks like. It's a good statement, though, that's for sure. How you doing today, Matt? What's new?
Happy Wednesday. Yeah, just because you wear those shoes doesn't mean you're going to play basketball like Darius Acuff. So
No kidding.
Remember that. Well, I did find this interesting. Does anybody have a dollar figure amount? Nobody knows a dollar figure amount. You know that Reebok's one of the cheapest as far as I think they're getting him they're getting Acuff at the right time. Acuff probably could have held out for more money from a different shoe company, but you start what'd you say? They haven't had anybody since John Wall. I dealt with those people years ago. Mm-hmm. They're not really bringing the most money to the table, but what's to say? I'm sure it's a 7-figure deal of some kind.
I was interested in the money.
That's why they didn't say it. No, that's they got smart people too.
I was a little more interested in the money than I am in what the shoe's going to look like. Wouldn't that be the case for somebody that probably wouldn't buy a pair of the shoes anyway? Is that we'd all be interested in the money going to Acuff, and probably what a pair of these things will cost too. But I couldn't find it anywhere in the press releases in any of the stories. So a little bit of you want to throw a dollar figure out there? I have no idea what you'd usually get for something like this. What do you think?
What do I think Acuff would get from Reebok? Oh, there's probably some escalators and stuff like that, but I bet it might be $750,000 a year for the next 5 years. It might be 1.5, but it's not going to be more than a $10 million 5-year deal. And it sounds like that's a lot of money, but in the shoe world, that's not that much. I mean, there's a lot of people that got deals, but he might be getting his own signature shoe. I don't know if he's getting sales on the back end. You got to kind of read some of that if you're getting royalties and stuff. But good for him, man.
Well, that was huge news as far as the player aspect in college basketball is concerned. Big news on the coaching aspect is that UNC got rid of Hubert Davis. And according to his statement, he was all interested in staying as the coach. This wasn't like a pulmonary thing where he resigned under pressure and I think under misery more than anything else. And, Maneri was never a South Carolina guy. Hubert Davis is a North Carolina guy. I mean, he played for the dean. He played for the man who the building is named after. And Man, what a 5-year stretch it was, Matt. I mean, first year as the head coach, when people are wondering whether or not you belonged as the head coach. You'd never been one before, just an assistant under Williams. And they go all the way to the national title game, as I think they were an 8 or a 9 seed that year, right? And ended Coach K's career with a win in the Final Four. That same team the next year didn't make it to the tournament. I think a couple years ago was Sweet 16, but now back-to-back first-round exits. And, hey, never mind the fact that their best player was injured and missed the last month, a little more than a month of the season. So that is where do you put North Carolina, Matt, in terms of college basketball jobs? Is that number one? Because I can't imagine one that really would go higher than North Carolina. Is there one?
Man, that's a really good question. I would say teams like, I guess we're not talking about UCLA and Indiana anymore.
No.
You're talking about UConn. I think if you're talking about success, that's up there. Jordan went to North Carolina. I mean, you look at the lineage of athletes that went to North Carolina. I have a hard time putting another job ahead of that job. The way the landscape is now, there's some that are equal to it. But yeah, I'd say North Carolina basketball is like Alabama football. It's pretty even right there.
That's such an interesting comparison, I think, to make too, and I fall in with you on that too. Now look at what's happened with the other sports on those campuses. I mean, football, football at North Carolina, basketball at Alabama. North Carolina football is trying to get to a place where they made a real out-of-the-box hire. I mean, a surefire NFL Hall of Famer and all the Super Bowls. Bill Belichick is the head coach of football at North Carolina. Now, Alabama didn't make like a huge splash when they hired Nate Oates as the basketball coach there, but he's taken their basketball program to where, Matt, you could maybe even say right now that their basketball is more successful than football. I mean, they were, what was the Final Four a couple years ago, and Alabama football hasn't quite been what they expect to be for 3 years since Saban left, or even maybe the year before Saban left. And you do have to wonder a little here about where North Carolina is looking, because they're not going to be looking at inside the family like they always have done, like they did with Davis. I don't know if there's another former North Carolina guy out there that's, ready to take a job like that. So they're going to be casting a pretty wide net for successful coaches currently. And I think Nate Oates would leave Alabama for North Carolina. And I wonder what that would do to Alabama basketball. I mean, there's no way that program stays anywhere near the level that he's gotten them to. Now, what he could do at North Carolina is a whole other story. But I thought it was interesting, Matt, that you drew those two comparisons, because I was thinking about those two schools at the very same time that you were.
I'd take Ricky Barnes over Nate Oates. I would not have Nate Oates around my program.
Well, I know you wouldn't. I know you wouldn't.
He might be a heck of a coach. I get that, whatever you want to say. But for just the way he goes about it, his attitude, his theatrics, just listening to him talk. I find him disingenuous, if that's the right word. Like, I just don't think he's, I don't know. I wouldn't want him. Is he a heck of a coach? Absolutely, he's a heck of a coach. I think there's too many North Carolina people. Well, what do I know? They just went and got Bill Belichick. He has a 19-year-old girlfriend, so maybe so. But I would think they wouldn't. I would just think, you look at the men of character that they've hired. Hubert Davis is a man of character.
Mm-hmm.
Dean. So you start going down, Roy Williams, start going down the list. I think they'll look for something like that. I don't think they'll do a Nate Oates thing.
Yeah, I do kind of, I agree with you on this, but then there's the possibility of other jobs that could come open too, that I think, all I'm really wondering here is, because I don't think Nate Oates is going to finish his career at Alabama. Kansas could come open very soon. Bill Self is openly talking about, he don't know if he's coming back next year or not. I mean, he's got heart issues, and that could be a job that could come open. I don't think Kentucky is going to be firing Mark Pope after this year. I think they'll give him another 22, maybe 25, maybe $30 million, who knows, and see if they can keep all their players healthy and measure their success against Arkansas as they've been doing for these last 2 years. So I don't think that'll come open, but I just wonder about what would happen. Because I think they got to be a little nervous now. I mean, right now Oates is coaching a team, so they're probably more interested in, their Sweet 16 matchup. But I do think that's a program like North Carolina. To me, Matt, is the kind of program that's almost like LSU football, where it can recruit itself to a point, but you still need the right coach there.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just like, you get a certain kind of athlete at LSU where it just draws those athletes there. To me, North Carolina basketball is one of those programs that can recruit itself, but with the right coach in the right place, that's one of those programs. It's like it's blue blood no matter what.
Well, don't let me be.
And it could be scary with the right coach.
Well, don't let me be the first to say this, but John Gruden's still open. He could
Switch sports.
Well, no, I'm Jay Wright. That's the guy that I think comes up first. That's the John Gruden of basketball. But don't you call Jay Wright just see, like, say, hey, what's up?
Maybe you do.
He's been out for 4 years, 6 years.
Has it
now.
been that long?
It's been every bit of a full college transfer portal. Like he's been out for a while now.
Yeah, that would be really interesting. It wouldn't even be an experiment. I mean, he coached in a league that's as cutthroat as the ACC, maybe just on a different level as far as the Big East is concerned. That would be interesting. I didn't see his name thrown in there amongst all of the other names that get tossed around, but I agree with you. How do you not at least make the phone call and see if there's some interest? Man of character, a man that's already won a bunch of titles, maybe it could fit. But I also wonder, you're not worried about this at Arkansas, even though you've got the established head coach and the Hall of Fame credentials and the national championship and everything, Cal ain't going anywhere. I love it. So I wondered about this. I think Cal has such an appreciation for Arkansas basketball throughout the history of the program, and I think there's still, in some people's minds, they're like, Muss got them to a certain place. He got them to the Elite Eight. He got them to the Sweet 16. He's the one who really built the program, and I don't know. I think Cal would have taken this job, even if Muss hadn't put Arkansas at Elite Eight, Sweet 16 level. I mean, the years that Cal coached against Mike Anderson, you had some pretty intense battles in both buildings, and a battle between the two coaches too. And the fans were pretty darn loud in those games. I don't think that Muss put Arkansas where Cal's think, yeah, I can take that job now. I think Arkansas basketball, Matt, is so much more than just what Muss did with them. It's we can touch at Nolan, but it goes all the way back past Eddie, and and that's why I love seeing Arkansas basketball where it is. Where it feels like right now, and you can't take this for granted, being in the Sweet 16 right now has been the floor of the program for most of the 2020s. And growing up in the 90s, Matt, that's how I understood Arkansas basketball. It's good to be where they are right now, but I also understood Arkansas basketball back then as a Final Four program, and I think this team can do it too.
Hey, we're top 10 in all-time NCAA tournament wins, so it's not just a flash in the pan or lightning in the bottle. I mean, we've been sustainable for many, many years. We got one chip to show for it, a couple Final Fours. How many? Well, we got 4 Final Fours total. How many Final Fours?
5.
5. See, they won championship, 5 Final Fours, and man, you beat Arizona. And we talked about this on Monday. The hope is real. It's a real. I know the line is 8.5, 9, whatever, but it's like there's a real, nobody else has a Trevion Brazile. There's not a Trevion Brazile left in the tournament except for on the Razorbacks. Nobody has an A-Cup except for on the Razorbacks. Everybody has a lot of really good pieces. There's a lot of really good fits. You got to get a little lucky. You got to stay out of foul trouble. Got to play your best. But as far as athletic ability, I think that might be kind of the hope. Arkansas is the most athletic team left in the tournament. I mean, there might be some teams that are equal to being as athletic as Billy Richmond and Brazile. Well, I guess if you had Carter Wagner's still athletic. It's like we got a shot, man. You got to. I think everybody's. It's right there. It's right there for the taking. And I think everybody's looking forward to it.
I'm pretty fired up about 8:45 tomorrow. Pretty fired up about the rest of the day. It's spring break. I've got my son with me, and but like Matt, it's amazing. The kid slept. I thought I was going to see if he slept all through the show. He got up 10 minutes before we got on the air today. So you want to talk about living? That right there is living, my friend. So we've got plans to go fishing once the show is concluded. And that means I'm going to forget about everything involving sports for like 5 hours, and then I'm going to take him to Herman's Rib House. So I don't know. This feels like a pretty darn perfect spring break Wednesday, and talking sports with you guys up until 2 o'clock. We should have a good time. And we will have no Clay Henry today because Clay's being a good husband. He's going on a long trip starting next week, so he's being a good husband yesterday and today. Dudley Dawson will join us at 1:15. We'll be wide open in hour number 2. And in just a moment, we'll get on the horn with Hall of Famer Grant Hall. So stay with us here on Halftime.
It's tournament time, and the road to the Final Four starts now. ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com are bringing you all the madness this March. Our exclusive coverage is brought
Tommy
to you
Kraft
by
here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch.
Big old slab.
C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value menu has so much Lutz, it's starting to go to people's heads. I'm the Lutzierge.
Which is the mini taco salad fork?
Here to help them cope. So when you try the mini taco salad, beefy potato loaded griller, or chips and nacho supreme dip, enjoy the Lutz. Just don't let it go to your head.
Yeah, bring the car around.
You know there's no valet.
Then who's getting the car?
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value menu. 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less.
It's almost over. The ultimate challenge here at Lewis Automotive Group, our biggest one yet. We're so close to selling 600 vehicles in the month of March. We've got more than 1,000 vehicles to choose from, $2 million in discounts, and we're not holding anything back all month long. Get up to $20,000 off MSRP or 0% financing on select models. Payments starting at $199 a month, only for a limited time at the Lewis Automotive Group's Ultimate Challenge.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for, only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com, RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
While most people are playing for bragging rights, MyBookie is giving away $100,000 in their Madness Bracket Contest. This is about turning your ball knowledge into bankroll. Head to MyBookie.ag. Use code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and get your first bet covered up to $500. If it misses, activate your Bet Back bonus token and run it back. The madness only comes once a year, so don't just watch it, win it. Only at MyBookie. Must opt in during the bet to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
737-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back, and 600 vehicles must be sold in March. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Man, I love this song. It really, this song kind of casts a mood. It's a whole mood. What's a perfect day? What is a perfect day for you, Matt Jones?
Herman's Steakhouse and going fishing.
Well, you might as well join me and Gabe today because that's what we're going to be doing. That'll be a perfect day for us. Grant Hall is joining us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Grant's had a lot of perfect days in his life. Grant, what's a perfect day for you?
Oh, morning at Augusta National, about 9 o'clock in the morning, sun's coming up. Not a blade of grass out of place. That's it.
Sounds like something you might actually get in a couple weeks, huh? Maybe 3 weeks?
Yeah, actually, next Wednesday, I'll be on the way to the women's amateur, and I think I land in Atlanta at 11:27. So maybe we could push me back that day or whatever you want to. I got a couple hours before I fly on to Augusta.
I had a little back and forth with Troy on our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Their little conversation about whether Cal would have taken the job at Arkansas had Muss not gotten the Hogs to where he got them for, a 3-year period out of the 5 years he coached. I think that Cal had a certain understanding about Razorback basketball that goes way past that goes, even through past Nolan into Eddie's time. But Troy thinks that Muss showed that what Nolan did can happen again here, and that's why Cal saw, well, maybe this can work for me, and it obviously is working. I wonder what you think.
Well, I don't think Musselman gets nearly as much credit as he should have for ending a 24-year drought in which Arkansas did not go to a Sweet 16, and he did it 3 times in 4 years or something like that. 3 out of 5 total, I guess. But and now, of course, Cal has continued it on with 2 more. 5 Sweet 16s in 6 years is a great achievement in college basketball these days by 2 different coaches. And, everyone rightly credits Eddie Sutton and Nolan Richardson, but I'm not sure Musselman gets that credit.
So I also just kind of wonder whether or not you would be able to have that kind of player without it being a John Calipari. Because, you got really talented players while Muss was here, but so many of them that were freshmen that came here were connected to the state of Arkansas, and you can't really say that. You can say that about J.J. Andrews coming in next year, but maybe he would have done the Malik Monk thing, right? There's just it's a little bit different with Cal. You have a different kind of player. Muss got them to the Elite Eight, that's for sure, but it was with a lot of incoming players that came from the state.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that Cal went to see Monk played. He scored 32 points on Sunday. And I remember when Mike Anderson's entire basketball team went to see Monk play a game in the state tournament here in Northwest Arkansas, but it didn't do any good, and they didn't get him. So, yeah, acquiring players obviously is a big deal. I think it's interesting that, in light of what happened at North Carolina, Hubert Davis averaged 25 wins and 11 losses, something like that per season. And it turned out to be not good enough. And now you're seeing the names Dusty May of Michigan and Brad Stevens, which is intriguing. I think that'd be a great hire if North Carolina could pull that off, because you're firing a guy that won 25 a year but didn't do well enough in the NCAA tournament for them. And of course, they always have the problem of Duke. I mean, they have to keep pace with Duke. It's not like they're in some state where they're the only team that matters. So, be interesting to see what they do.
Hey, Grant, when I'm looking at the Sweet 16, other than this Arizona-Arkansas game, we'll get to that game here in just a second. What's the other game that kind of has your eye? Is it Michigan-Alabama? Is it Duke-St. John's, Illinois-Houston? What's the second best game besides Arizona-Arkansas this weekend?
You know, Matt, I was looking at that today. I've got 11 Sweet 16 teams left. I think 6 Final 8 teams. And all 4 Final Four teams. So a bracket that was really not very good starting out, I guess, is about like a lot of other people's. But, I think the Purdue-Texas game is kind of intriguing out there. Purdue, Arkansas has seen them a few times in the last few years. They do a great job. I mean, it really is pretty chalky at this point. You know, in that one bracket, I think I've got off Michigan State, of course, Connecticut, and teams you're used to seeing. It should be pretty good. I think, aside from a few great buzzer beaters, I don't know that the tournament has had quite the excitement this year. Do you guys think so far?
I saw viewership was up on the opening weekend since 2011 or so. It was the best. So I don't know if that means it's a good tournament or not.
Well, that North Carolina game where they blew the 19-point lead, I think was the highest rated one. Is that right? Against Virginia Tech, I think.
I guess it comes down to, we think of Cinderellas that make runs and buzzer beaters, and those are the reasons. There have been really good basketball games, though. I mean, and I think that's partially why the ratings have been up, too, man. I mean, I just think there's been exciting back and forth game. I think of the Arkansas High Point game, I saw that too, and man, it's interesting. But you look at the first 4 ratings, like nobody really watches the first 4 compared to who watches the first weekend of the tournament, and then I think the ratings just speak for themselves afterwards. So when you look at the idea that the first 4 doesn't really get a lot of viewership, we have people here that are huge basketball fans that text in and say they won't even watch the tournament until it's the round of 64. They call it the real start to the tournament.
Yeah,
so why expand the thing? Are we to think that people are going to watch more games that they think won't matter?
Yeah, that means they missed the Texas North Carolina State game, which went down to the wire. This Arizona team is a lot to say grace over for Arkansas. That in addition to 5 players 6'8" or taller, they've got this Jaden Bradley, who's an all Big 12 defensive team member who will assumedly be going against Acuff, and I think that's the probably the key matchup to watch for Arkansas to have a chance. I mean, Acuff has scored a lot of points against a lot of other guys who are considered to be good defenders this year, and then who do you get back? I mean, do you get Pringle back? Do you get maybe even Carter Knox? I'm hearing not. I think that's kind of
What's Carter Knox? What are you hearing? Is he going to go to a different college?
No, I mean, I think that may be kind of you remember the Nick Smith year when people weren't sure exactly what his injury, how bad it was. Sometimes I think you get under agent influence on whether you should. I mean, some people say the knee injury isn't all that serious now, that he maybe could come back and play. Now, he was quoted on the trip, saying good things about the Razorbacks last week. He was out there with them, so that would help. I mean, so far they've gotten away with this 7 and 6 man.
Arizona's not that deep. You speaking. I looked at their since the tournament started, they're really only playing 6-7 guys as well. They have a couple extra guys that will play 3, 4, 7 minutes, but for as far as guys playing over 18, 20 minutes, they only have like 6 guys doing that as well.
Yeah, and Matt, sometimes the extra guys gum up the works. Let's face it. I mean, if you get in a game like they were playing against High Point, you want as many athletic guys. And Arkansas, I think Arkansas is as athletic as any team in the country.
I agree.
Just fun to watch play.
Maybe there's something to be said about, maybe Nick Pringle could have gummed it up in the first 2 games, certainly in the High Point game. I feel like you need him, though, against Arizona. Like, is Arkansas rugged enough Are they rugged enough without him, or are they rugged enough with him?
I think that's the key to this game tomorrow night, guys. And if they can win it, it would be quite impressive. Hey, Phil, I want to ask you one baseball question. I got my Sports Illustrated yesterday, and it had the Cardinals going 63-99 this year. Ooh. And finishing 17 games behind the fourth-place team in the division. And then I looked today, and their starting pitcher for tomorrow against Tampa Bay is Liberatore, who, he's okay. He's not, you'd like to see a formidable ace, right, in your first game. So maybe they know something we don't know. I saw a thing this morning that who are the biggest threats to the Dodgers hegemony right now, and they listed Philadelphia first. I think the Red Sox, I think Detroit, and I think the Mets and the Yankees. The Mets didn't even scratch last year, but they've obviously spent a lot of money. And then somebody else was throwing in maybe the Mariners. But while they were doing all this, they were showing Stephen A. Smith, and he couldn't stifle a yawn over there in the corner. Maybe he's thinking about his political career. I don't know. But this is opening day, and Phil, you can remember when opening day was such a huge thing, and now it's just part of the fabric of American sports. There's a lot of different other things going on. But will you be watching tonight when was it the Giants and the Yankees?
Yeah, the Giants they're opening on Netflix, and it's so odd that Netflix is showing 2 regular season games. It's this game and the Field of Dreams game, and then I think they're showing the Home Run Derby, and that's it. I think it's cool that Netflix is in on baseball and that they've taken. First of all, Grant, I'm just happy that opening day, the first major league game, is actually happening in the United States, or at least on this side of the globe, because been opening the season in Japan for the last 3 or 4 years. And
that's right. But are you happy that it's on March the 25th in the middle of the NCAA tournament?
Right. And it's in the middle of the week, and it's and I mean, look, that's just the landscape that sports exists within right now. But the thing that you've hit on, which is the truth, is that baseball's got this surge in popularity this year, and I think the World Series last year had something to do with it, but really it's been the last 3-4 years. And that is even with and you use the word hegemony, the dominance of the Dodgers, and you still feel like there isn't a team that even approaches them. But the thing this sport has to realize is that they've caught a wave, and the ownership and the labor need to make sure that whatever it is that happens when the season concludes, if you miss games next year, you don't miss a season, because that's how you kill momentum for a sport.
Well, college baseball is thriving around here, and I know you mentioned this stuff, but Friday night they're honoring Norm DeBryan, and that's going to be a great evening, and he deserves every bit of acclaim he's going to get that night.
You're not kidding. I'm excited about that for Norm. Yeah, we'll have our special Norm DeBryan jerseys, and everybody's going to have the same number on the back of their jersey. That should be interesting.
Yeah.
Grant, we'll leave it there. Appreciate you, man. The Cardinals probably will finish in 4th. If they finish behind the Pirates, I'll consider it a very successful season.
They're saying the Pirates might make the playoffs this year. I read that today somewhere, so maybe you got hope.
I don't even know what that feels like. We'll see. All right? Let's talk again in July. Yeah. It's Grant Hall with us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Please do not try to give me any hope about the Pirates. It's March. There's no reason to be thinking about those things until July and maybe even August, as long as they've got more wins than losses. 877-377-6963 to get with us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Crabtree RV Center in Alba. Boy, today'd be a great day to be traversing the highways of our fantastic nation on the interstates in a beautiful RV that you were able to procure at Crabtree RV Center in Alma. They've been doing it for 75 years and counting. Every buyer and their family will get the best RV purchasing experience at Crabtree. They'll help you find the right RV. There's personalized financing that fits you. Top-of-the-line parts and service department where you made your purchase. It's where I-40 and I-49 come together in Alma. Crabtree RV Center is at crabtreerv.com. We'll be back in a moment. This is Halftime.
My head hurts. That's your brain trying to comprehend its own stupidity.
This is Halftime.
This college basketball tournament moment is brought to you by Marriott Bonvoy.
2019 NCAA tournament, 12-seeded Murray State was led by projected lottery pick Ja Morant. In the opening round against 5th-seeded Marquette, Morant put up a rare triple-double, scoring 17 points, 16 assists, and 11 rebounds.
Obviously, I wouldn't be able to get the triple-doubles without my teammates making shots.
Followed that with 28 points against 4th-seeded Florida State.
Marriott Bonvoy, where game day checks in.
Clinton Yates here. Game day brings the excitement. Your stay should feel just as memorable. With Marriott Bonvoy, official hotel partner of the NCAA and U.S. Soccer, you're connected to a portfolio of brands designed for how you travel. Some offer complimentary breakfast. Others give you room to spread out, space to stay productive, or extended stay comforts. So whether you're a traveling fan or part of the team, Marriott Bonvoy celebrates the moments that live on before and after the game. Marriott Bonvoy, where game day checks in.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Save some green this spring at Rath Auto Resources. We've been hard at work getting ready for warmer weather, and we've put our best roster of road-ready certified pre-owned cars on the ground, priced to move and backed by a comprehensive warranty. With our non-commissioned sales team, painless pricing playbook, and the nation's best lenders, Rath's got the River Valley's deepest bench ready to take all the hassle out of getting your next ride. Don't settle for just any used car. Make the switch to Road Ready Certified and save some green this spring at Rath Auto Resources. Voted best pre-owned cars in the River Valley. 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith. RathAutoFortSmith.com.
Spring is in the air, and the fish are biting, the gobblers are strutting, and the trees are blooming. Gelco Outdoors, your locally owned one-stop shop, is ready to help you get outside and enjoy the great outdoors. Stop by and let our friendly staff help you get the gear you need. Gelco Outdoors, your store for hunt, fish, and work. That's what we do. Gelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith. Shop local. Shop Gelco Outdoors. Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Hey everyone, Josh Earnhardt here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. Do you like doing business with local companies? Did you know that AAA Business Systems is one of only a few truly local office technology providers in Northwest Arkansas? Ask your current technology provider where their corporate office is, and let's keep your money in Northwest Arkansas. Buy local, support local. Call us today at 479-442-4185, and remember, anything else is just a copy.
Come see Cody and the gang on Advanced Mechanical Performance. You can find him at 3201 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith. Need repair or service for your ATV or UTV? Advanced Mechanical Performance can do it all, as well as taking care of all of your power sports parts accessory needs. Give him a call today at 434-4161. That's 434-4161. Or stop by 3201 Wheeler Avenue. Advanced Mechanical Performance. It's what you should be striving for.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I cannot get out there. Rocky Road.
Lipstick, baby scribbles in the mirror. Drama overdose. Shit, my twist. Got a finger on the trigger. Drama overdoses.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Cal was on the Pat McAfee show yesterday, previewing the game against Arizona and just talking about college basketball and the job at Arkansas overall. Here was a little bit of their conversation, just a little bit.
We got a chance to talk to you, obviously, when you took the job at Arkansas, and everybody was kind of surprised that you went to Arkansas for basketball. Obviously, the SEC, good for hoops, but nobody expected to see legend you there. You joined us. You got nobody on the roster. You said we have actually no players. From that point until now, you said you wanted to help 30 families, I think is what you're thinking. How do you feel about the program that you've obviously got up and running in a big way? And how do you feel about being an Arkansas basketball hero kind of at this stage so quickly in it all?
Well, I'm not a basketball hero there, but, Muss did a pretty good job now before he left. And, yeah, Coach Richardson, Coach Sutton, this place has had Hall of Famers coach there. And so you kind of stand on their shoulders.
And you played for one of the greats of all time, not just one of the greats at Arkansas, Matt. And it was a long time between Sweet 16 trips. And he also makes great pains to show that Muss did a great job here. I know Grant Hall a moment ago said that Muss doesn't maybe get the full credit he deserves here. I question that a little bit because when he had things going here before that last season, when there was a little wonder of whether or not he really wanted to still be the coach at Arkansas, he got tons of praise, not just here around the state, but nationally, for getting the Razorbacks back to where Nolan had them. And I think he's a terrific coach. But I also think that the program – anyway, I wonder what you think. Did Muss put this program at a place where Cal would be comfortable to take the job, or do you think that the job sort of was what it was because of what happened with Nolan and with Eddie?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. I think the Arkansas job is a great basketball job. Arkansas football job is a great job. Baseball job, it's a great spot. It's the professional team in town. I mean, you think back to Nolan's last year too. He had Andre Iguodala coming and Mike Conley coming. Like, you start looking at some of the guys he had that were going to be Arkansas Razorbacks that ended up not being. So that success would have continued with Nolan. It's like nobody even remembers Anthony Black played at Arkansas. He was the number 6 overall pick a couple years ago. He's a borderline all-star. I mean, his trajectory is what you want and then you think Moses Moody's, you think the kids at Oklahoma City, there's kids all over that they're littered in the NBA that Coach Muss coached. I think the Arkansas job is a great job. I don't think if it was some other coach and Coach Cal, because what it sounded like was it was his relationship with John Tyson. So I don't think it would have mattered what was going on. I think Coach Cal wanted a fresh start. And then when you have a fresh start, sometimes you call your friends. Sometimes you call somebody who you trust. Hey, what do you think? I'm going to do something new. I want a new challenge. And then it's like, oh, I didn't even know you were interested. So I think there's something else. I don't think it matters that Coach Muss had us working, but don't forget it, man. Coach Muss had him work. He had it. He had us back to where we wanted to be.
Yeah, he definitely did. And I just wonder about if this job with North Carolina would have come open 2 years ago. Would Cal have ended up at Arkansas, or do you think, because that's the kind of coach that I think they're going to be going after, the established coach who might already have a national title or two, might not even be in the industry anymore. I mean, Billy Donovan, Brad Stevens, those are guys in the NBA that had, a certain level of success here in college basketball. But I feel like, but that would be an interesting thing to try to do, because you're going from one place at Kentucky where you're expected to win every single game and no excuses allowed, to another place in North Carolina where things are not too dissimilar from that. The difference is that you've got another rival that's actually got a bigger program than you just across the street in Duke. that's got more success, I guess in the last, since Hubert Davis was hired. And if you're looking at Kentucky, like what's the number 2 program when it comes to awareness, brand awareness, success overall? It's been Arkansas. So, hey, I bet you one name that's not getting thrown around at North Carolina, though, Matt, is Jerome Tang, right?
Well, I would say Florida. They've won 3 national titles. I might have them number 2, but I'd have Arkansas 3 kind of there. With Alabama's on the come. I just can't discount Florida has 3 national titles in the last 20 years.
Well, maybe that's why Billy Donovan is one name that they're looking for at North Carolina. 877-377-6963 for calls and texts on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. BE thinks Mike Anderson stopped the bleeding and allowed the relationship between Nolan and the U of A to heal. And his name didn't go in the court during Anderson's time, but I think that there were, there might have been reaching out from administration to coach during that time. But I think it felt like he was like, you named it Nolan Richardson Drive and the court after him. I think that was while Muss was here. How did you feel about Mike Anderson's tenure at Arkansas, Matt?
I like Mike, man. TJ Cleveland is somehow they're related, but Mike was a point guard. I like how he saw the game. I got along with Mike Anderson. TJ Cleveland's one of the smartest players I played with. Ronnie Brewer's another one. Both those guys are point guards, and Mike was a point guard. So, yeah, no, I love how Mike Anderson sees the game.
Never quite understood because I thought, I think he had success. I mean, gosh, he
went to UAB and took them to the tournament, went to Missouri, took them to the tournament. Yeah, he's been successful everywhere he's went.
Never quite got Arkansas to that Sweet 16, and that was unfortunate because I did enjoy the time that Mike was the head coach at Arkansas. Kyle here texts in, he says he raised the floor. Yeah, I mean that was like he certainly stabilized things, that's for sure. Shane asked, "Do you think North Carolina is trying to talk to Cal?" No,
0%. Coach Cal's not going anywhere. Coach, I mean, unless they said, "Hey, we'll give you $100 million a year," he'd be like, "I gotta go," But that's Coach Cal's not going anywhere.
All right, we got a break here in a moment. Hey, remember with the game tomorrow, 8:45, big time over at Joe's Grilling Cantina, like they're doing for every Arkansas basketball game. Wear your Razorback gear, and they'll give you half-price apps and cheap taps all throughout the game. You can always get over there a little bit early for happy hour from 3 to 6. They'll have drink specials keeping the party going, and that's Joe's Grilling Cantina. Wear your Razorback gear during the game. Half-price apps, cheap taps. They're 3400 South 74th across from Harps in Fort Smith, joesfortsmith.com. Back to wrap up hour number 1 of halftime after this.
Man, big dogs, man.
Yes, sir. We advancing.
Round 3.
This is halftime.
Save some green this spring at Rath Auto Resources. We've been hard at work getting ready for warmer weather, and we've put our best roster of road-ready certified pre-owned cars on the ground, priced to move and backed by a comprehensive warranty. With our non-commissioned sales team, painless pricing playbook, and the nation's best lenders, Rath's got the River Valley's deepest bench ready to take all the hassle out of getting your next ride. Don't settle for just any used car. Make the switch to road-ready certified and save some green this spring at Rath Auto Resources. Voted best pre-owned cars in the River Valley. 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith. RathAutoFortSmith.com.
Hey, Ty Richardson for A Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. They service commercial and residential lawns for weed management and fertilization for a lush, healthy lawn. Need bush hogging? They do that too. A Cut Above also offers tree and limb removal. Don't forget hauling and dumpster rental as well. More than just a mowing service, they're A Cut Above. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. Lawn, landscaping, power washing, stump grinding, leaf removal, mulching, flea tick, and mosquito control. 719-5605.
Whether you're fishing for coldwater bass on Beaver Lake or Table Rock, or fishing for a trophy brown trout on the Mighty White River, the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue will catch them. It has that famous rolling action whether it's fished extremely slow or worked fast in heavy current. This rogue suspends, so it will stay in the strike zone longer, allowing you to catch more fish. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Ace has always been the helpful place, and now we're even more helpful by offering instant savings to Ace Rewards members. Not a member? Just sign up at Mentor's Lumber Ace Hardware to start saving right at the register. Right now, save $30 on select DeWalt 20-volt max tools or $20 on select Ego outdoor power equipment after instant savings with your Ace Rewards card. Ace, the helpful place. Must be an Ace Rewards member to receive instant savings. Available through the end of the month. See participating stores for details.
Are you a middle-aged man feeling low on energy, struggling with weight gain, a decreased libido, or even battling depression? You don't have to feel this way any longer. Hi, this is Stephen Pittman, a licensed nurse practitioner and expert on testosterone replacement therapy. At Pittman TRT in Fort Smith, our priority is to restore your vitality and energy the way you felt in your 20s. No need to drive an hour or more.
Call Pittman TRT today at 479-274-1747 or check them out online at pittmantrt.com. Pittman TRT. Get back to feeling like your old self again.
A friend is someone who knows where you came from. Someone who always shows up when you need them. Someone who's there for the good times and the challenging ones. With comprehensive insurance policies backed by award-winning customer service, Shelter Insurance is committed to being there when you need us most.
Call your local shelter agent, Ryan Hughes, in Fort Smith.
Are you looking for a great deal on a previously owned vehicle but want to avoid high-pressure sales? If so, you need to visit Edwards Auto Sales in Roland. For over 30 years, Ernie Edwards and his staff have helped folks from Arkansas and Oklahoma River Valley buy a quality vehicle and offer a buy here, pay here program as part of their services. Some restrictions may apply. Come visit Edwards Auto Center newly remodeled facility, 3 miles west of the Garrison Bridge, the first car dealer on your right, or log on at edwardsautosalesinc.com.
Chemical Kappa. Wow. Chemical Kappa. Yes, we still spell hunger. 7 so blessed. You see twilight. Chemical Kappa lives inside of liquid motion inside the sky.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March. Now let's get back to Halftime with the voice of Arkansas Razorback Baseball, Phil Elson, and Arkansas football legend Matt Jones.
Wrap up hour number 1 with a phone call from Kevin in Rogers on our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Good morning, Kevin. Thanks for calling. How are you today?
Yeah, I guess it is still good morning. Hey, Phil. Hey, Matt. How you guys doing today? Pretty good?
Really good, thanks. Yeah, 7 more minutes of morning.
Yeah, show's about good. Been just kind of hopped in. Yeah, pretty interesting with the North Carolina job. I mean, personally, I never thought Hubert Davis was a great hire. I think the biggest difference between him and John Shire is, yes, they both played at their universities, but I think the big difference was Hubert Davis played for Dean Smith. He didn't coach under Dean Smith. And that's where I think John Shire has a really good advantage over why they've been so much more successful. That doesn't always work that way, coaching under a legend, but it has for John.
Didn't Davis coach under Roy Williams, though? Wasn't he hired because he was Williams' top assistant?
Yeah, I think that's right, but I don't know. Roy's a Hall of Fame coach, of course. I'm not going to say anything negative about him. I'm just saying, coaching under Coach K, coaching under Roy Williams. If I was going to send somebody to a guy that could handle pros in the NBA and coach them on the USA Olympic team, I just think there's a little bit of difference there, in my opinion.
It's just interesting too, Kevin, because wasn't it when Dean Smith retired, they hired his top assistant, Bill Guthridge, and that's exactly what they did when Roy Williams retired. I don't think Guthridge lasted very long, but I think he was a little bit older. I don't remember. I think he might have gotten North Carolina to a Final Four too. So they and he'd never been a head coach before. Like Davis had never been a head coach before. So it was a little bit of the same formula. I guess I don't know if it worked out the same way or not.
Well, it hasn't worked out for Carolina because they even hired Doherty, a former player. I just think they're going to go outside the university this time. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Jay Wright's name floated around.
That's
Billy Donovan, like you say.
Yeah.
He's not on TV right now, and he's a heck of a coach. I always enjoy him. Going back to one other thing about what Matt said about Mike Anderson, I agree. Mike's a great guy. I think Mike's biggest disadvantage at Arkansas, and he had some good years. We went to 2, 3, 4. We couldn't get out of the second weekend, but recruiting was pretty decent. I just don't think Mike was the recruiter Nolan was. Nolan could bring in a different type of athlete, and by the time that really, Mike should have had that job right after Nolan left, and I think it would have benefited. But, Nolan invented the press, 40 minutes. By the time Mike was, after he'd left Missouri, everybody was playing that type of basketball. Let's be honest. Most of the topper teams were doing that type of thing, playing, an NBA style press and all that jazz. And I just feel like that was kind of his disadvantage. But I agree with Matt. He's a good coach, but the program's obviously been elevated. Must did a good job here, and then Cal's gonna, anybody that thought John Calipari wasn't going to be successful at Arkansas just doesn't know college basketball very well.
Agreed with you there, Kevin. We're right up against the break here, so we'll have to leave it there. I want to give Matt, I'll give you a chance to respond to that when we come back for the top of the hour. 877-377-6963 for calls and texts on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. We are wide open in hour number 2, so get with us, and we are right back.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, not when you work with Tara Lindbergh and the Lindbergh Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LindberghTeam.com, LIMBIRD.
Contractors, you've got jobs to win and customers to impress. That's why you choose Luxair HVAC systems, built for performance, efficiency, and reliability. And at J&B Supply, we've had your back since 1968. We're a local family-owned distributor that treats our customers like family too, with the products, expertise, and service you need to get the job done right. For over 50 years, HVAC and plumbing pros have trusted J&B Supply in Fort Smith, Springdale, and Bentonville. J&B Supply, where the professionals go.
90 years. That's how long the Hug family has been a part of this town. Through dust bowls, downturns, and drive-throughs, we've been right here, selling trucks to grandfathers and now their grandkids. Because it isn't just about cars, it's about connection. We're proud to still be your local GM dealership after all these years. Hug Chevrolet GMC, since the beginning, still right here.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Sunny skies and warm today, highs in the mid-80s, a south wind at 5 to 15 miles an hour. Mostly clear tonight, lows in the low to mid-60s. Sunny skies on Thursday with highs in the mid to upper 80s. Mostly clear with an isolated chance for a thunderstorm in the north Thursday night, lows in the mid to upper 50s. I'm Matthew Harding with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Cop CDL Academy. Want a life-changing career? Give them a call today at 479-632-1050 or check them out online at copcdlacademy.com.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it.
Live from the Busch Lights Studio.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Name of one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones.
The Cinderella story is over, man.
Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
First text here on the Lewis Automotive Group text line just came in as we went into the top of the hour from Brenton, Kentucky. He is so glad the dark days of Arkansas basketball are over, and now he's looking forward to football being elevated as well and try to be in the national conversation like Cal has done with basketball. Welcome back in for the second hour of halftime. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Kristen Johnston producing wide open here in hour number 2. Being relevant, I think, is what I think you'd like to see in football. First and foremost, Arkansas basketball, even during the quote-unquote dark days, was still relevant. Like there might have been a few seasons here and there where the Hogs, Matt, did not make the NCAA tournament, but I don't think there was ever a moment, maybe the deal with Dana Altman, a couple of seasons under John Pelfrey, but you have never. Did you ever feel about Arkansas basketball the way that last football season made you feel?
No.
Of course not.
No, you can compare the football team to the women's basketball team. You can't compare it's the boys basketball team. You can compare them to the boys baseball team, but if you're looking for comparisons, there's no comparison. Women's basketball is about where our football team is right now, and that's that we're the bottom, we're the laughs.
Yeah, and also, like looking into the future, you're thinking, how do you maneuver from the very bottom of the league up to where you are not dead last anymore, where you're not, pointed at and laughed about around the rest of the league? And
they don't schedule you for their homecoming game every year. You're like, we were 4 homecoming games this year.
That's exactly right. That's what I mean here. So it's like, what were the dark days of Arkansas men's basketball? It was 25 years of not making it to the Sweet 16. It was the way that things ended, and you know it firsthand, Matt, the way it ended with Nolan. And that's sort of, the dark days kind of started right around there, a little bit before there. And it lasts all the way through. It is an embarrassment with Dana Altman taking the job and then rescinding, taking the job the next day. And, the Pelfrey years, 3 of them were really bad. Stan Heath, there was they only lasted 4 years for a specific reason. So I think what Mike Anderson made sure that happened here is that there was never a year under Coach Anderson where the Hogs were not relevant. where they were still at least not just competing, but were an SEC contender. Yeah, that's the thing about Arkansas basketball that will always stand out for me, is that this is a program where even the dark days were still nowhere near what I think other programs understand as real dark days.
No, a lot of success, and especially the last 5, 6, 7 years. I mean, Musk came back and rode the ship and had them going, and then you get somebody so dynamic. I mean, I'm like I said, what as soon as the LSU job got open, I said Lane Kiffin to LSU, it's a done deal. It's like Coach Cal to Arkansas. They're both rock stars. They recruit. They own the room. They pretend like they're listening to you in a conversation, like, oh, he might have actually really been listening to. They know so much. Their information they know when they're talking sports and talking ball and the connections and everything. It's just they that's all they know. That's what they've grown up doing and living that life. And the rock star in college basketball is Coach Calipari right now. That's the guy. Because some of the other guys, they feel old. Rick Pitino feels old. Some of the other coaches that are coaching that are having success, you kind of feel old. But not even Kelvin Sampson. He's like old. But not Coach Cal. You're like, oh, he still seems young. Still seems like the rock star. And then he's a dynamic recruiter. His ability to evaluate freshman talent. If you look at the last 20 years, Phil, he's missed on 4 years. Like four different, like he hits on his guys when they come in and last year he didn't do the whole freshman thing. He tried to get the portal guys and stuff like that, but this year he hit. I mean, he knocked it out of the park.
I love how you've hit on something that I was thinking on, looking at and you saw this photo last year when Arkansas and St. John's played each other in the tournament. And they're putting it out again because both Cal and Pitino have their teams in the Sweet 16. You saw this photo last year, Matt. It was from, I think it was when Pitino had he just started at Kentucky, or was still a pro? I think he had just started at Kentucky. Cal is still at UMass, and they're in the stands together, sitting next to each other. I think they might have been scouting somebody together. I don't remember the situation around it, but back then they were known as friends-ish. And they're both young. I think they're in their 30s at that point. And when you look at them next to that photo next to them now, like 100%, I was thinking the same thing you were. Cal still has a little bit of that like youthful sort of feel to him, the way he speaks, and even a little bit of it's only so young you can look when you're in your 60s and you don't do as much cosmetic surgery as Cher may have done at that age. I don't think Cal has done any of that kind of stuff, but like you can see the lines on Pitino's face. You can see the scandals kind of right there on his face, and I don't know. Cal's dealt with quote unquote scandals, a long time ago. Nothing like what Pitino was doing. But and you see that too in Sampson and some of the older coaches. I don't feel like that with Cal. I wonder what that is about him, because he does seem to have a little bit of that, still kind of in his late 30s thing. There must be something about him where he still has a little, like you and me. Like I say, sometimes I feel like I'm still 17. There's something about Cal that still feels he might still be a little bit 17.
He still speaks the language. I think being around young people like that keeps you young, keeps you motivated. And I do think a change of scenery kind of spruced him up a little bit too, where he got to art. And then you could tell from the beginning when he was scheduling the Elite Eight opponents from the year before, and then you could tell how he was talking that he really liked this team. And you can see, you can kind of tell, you can kind of pick up on coaches speak. I've been around that my whole life. You kind of tell what they really mean. You could tell that Coach Cal's liked this team right here from the jump.
He's got good reason to like this team. I think he liked last year's team too, but he didn't even know what that team looked like. At this point 2 years ago, he had no idea what that team was going to look like, and still got them to the level that this team is. But I think we're all agreeing that we feel like this team this year is better. Is this team this year better? If you just put them side by side against each other, is Cal's second-year team better than his first year? Knowing full well that if Arkansas loses tomorrow, then they didn't reach the same level of success as last year. They had more success. They won an SEC championship.
And that fact alone right here, that right there, they added a trophy to the trophy case. That's right.
877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Do you remember when Pelfrey was fired and it was like inevitable that Mike Anderson was going to be the head coach? That there was no two ways about it. Even whatever he had done at Missouri, there was no way he was going to be staying there. And those Missouri fans took that as a major insult. Can understand why. But there's never been another hire like that at Arkansas, where it was just, of course, it's going to be him because look at all the reasons why you have Coach Anderson to be the coach. It's like there's only a certain amount of programs that always want to look within the family. And North Carolina is one of them. There's another one that just did the same thing with Syracuse. Now, I don't think Jerry McNamara was the first choice because initially I think they wanted to hire USF's coach, Hodgson, and he said not enough NIL.
What about him going to Kentucky then? Nobody, would you see something like that if that's what he's looking for?
Hodgson, I think he took the job at Providence.
Oh, he already took another job. Okay.
Yeah, and I mean it's a much smaller school than Syracuse. It's in a pretty tough league to maneuver through.
And I meant North Carolina. Sorry, not Kentucky.
Right.
Sorry.
But it's a basketball-only school. So they're going to be, if they've got NIL dollars, what is Providence putting it into? They're putting it into basketball. Syracuse has a football program that they've got to try to compete through the ACC and make money because of the way that league distributes the money for football. So with McNamara, man, I mean, that's a guy that coached under Autry and Boeheim, 2 years at Siena. They always have that first half against Duke. But at least he's got the head coaching experience. Like, that's the thing Davis didn't have. But then when you go back and look at Bill Guthridge's career, and I remember when he was first hired and the Dean Smith retirement happened in a time where there was kind of a surprise about it. And you look at Guthridge, and I don't know if you remember this, that North Carolina had to either put out a statement or just continuously hammer it home that Guthridge is not a placeholder. This isn't just a one-year deal, and he took that first team to the Final Four. And then he did it again 2 years later and retired. And he'd never been a head coach before. So, I mean, Hubert Davis does nearly the same thing. First year, after taking the job, because you were Roy's main assistant and because you're within the North Carolina family, not only do they end Coach K's career in the Final Four, but then they go to play for a national championship, and now 5 years later, you've got Duke that could be a favorite for a championship, and North Carolina looking to hire outside the family now. It's much different than usual, or much different than it had been. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Great weather this weekend for Arkansas baseball, especially Saturday and Sunday. You want to be looking your best at Razorback games, so make sure you get to Roback.com and check out the upgrade in the University of Arkansas Game Day collection, things you won't find anywhere else. Brand new Arkansas hoodies, polos, Q-zips, selling fast, RHOBACK.com. If you use the code RUSH26 at checkout, there's 20% off your first order at Roback, where action meets comforts. Much more to get to in a moment. This is halftime.
It's tournament time, and the road to the Final Four starts now. ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com are bringing you all.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner. Taco Bell's new Lutz Value menu has so much Lutz, it's starting to go to people's heads.
I'm the Lutzierge.
Which is the mini taco salad fork?
Here to help them cope. So when you try the mini taco salad, beefy potato loaded griller, or chips and nacho supreme dip, enjoy the Lutz. Just don't let it go to your head.
Yeah, bring the car around.
You know there's no valet.
Then who's getting the car?
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu. 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less.
It's almost over. The ultimate challenge here at Lewis Automotive Group, our biggest one yet. We're so close to selling 600 vehicles in the month of March. We've got more than 1,000 vehicles to choose from, $2 million in discounts, and we're not holding anything back all month long. Get up to $20,000 off MSRP or 0% financing on select models. Payments starting at $199 a month. Only for a limited time at the Lewis Automotive Group's Ultimate Challenge.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for, only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com, RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
While most people are playing for bragging rights, MyBookie is giving away $100,000 in their Madness Bracket Contest. This is about turning your ball knowledge into bankroll. Head to mybookie.ag. Use code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and get your first bet covered up to $500. If it misses, activate your Bet Back bonus token and run it back. The madness only comes once a year, so don't just watch it, win it. Only at MyBookie. Must opt in during the bet. Tease the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
And we know the night is always gonna be here anyway. Thinking of you's working appetite, looking forward to a little afternoon delight. Rubbing sticks and stones together, make a spark ignite. And the thought of rubbing you is getting so excited. Sky rockets in.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Back here on Halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. I want to go right to the phones because we've got Stephen Bull Scholes, who's called our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. What's up, Steve? How you doing?
Hi, guys. Good afternoon. I had a comment, and I wanted to see what you guys thought about it. But the North Carolina opening, do you think they would go after John Calipari?
No. Somebody had texted in earlier about that. I think that if it's 2 years ago, they most definitely are going after John Calipari by now. But he's the Razorback head coach. I don't see him leaving Arkansas, maybe ever. I mean, you retire here and finish out the rest of the life here.
Okay, yeah, he's got a good gig here going, and he's been successful, and Arkansas is really glad to have him, you know.
Yeah,
but
I'm with you, and that's a great part about having a coach like that here is that this is the last destination for his career.
Right. And Pitino is about the same way. He's probably going to retire here soon.
Well, I don't know when he's going to retire, but I think when he does retire, it happens at St. John's.
Really? Well, so do you have any idea who they might look at?
I mean, the names you see thrown around are some of the more successful current head coaches: Dusty May, Nate Oates. The Iowa State head coach, Olsenberger, maybe Billy Donovan or Brad Stevens. Yeah, some of the names are out there. I mean, it's like there's a pretty wide range of names, but this is the kind of thing they've got to figure out. Probably you got to get your hire before the Final Four.
How about Kelvin Sampson?
Yeah, that's also one of the other. That's an interesting question. That's an interesting question, too. Then how do I think about it, Steve? Now, you remember, you would think Sampson's one of those guys that's going to finish his career at Houston, but he sounded pretty frustrated about his athletic department being, I don't remember how he put it, like the poorest in the Power Four or whatever it is. You know, but I do think that they put their money into basketball there specifically. But I haven't seen his name thrown there, but that's a coach that you think, well, of course he's got to be happy. Look at what he's built and where it is, and you're in this major city and everything. But I don't know if he sounded too pleased with everything surrounding his basketball program with the athletic department specifically. But Kelvin Sampson at North Carolina would be an interesting mix too. But I don't. To me, that one doesn't make much sense. Matt, we've got fans here at Arkansas that are a little nervous that North Carolina is going to poach John Calipari from Arkansas.
Don't worry about that. The thing with Kelvin Sampson is I think it comes to the ability of NIL. You know, how many is he? You know, is North Carolina thinking we're going to go get Kelvin Sampson for the next 7 years? How many years does Kelvin have left? I don't know what his age is. But it seems like I think they would go a little younger.
He's 70.
I just don't think they're hiring anybody over the age of 70 to be the head coach at North Carolina basketball. They already did that for the football team. We'll see how that's working out.
Can't do that for the basketball team too. They hired Belichick at age 71.
I don't think they're doing that again.
And he's also not been a college head coach either. Oh my goodness.
And if you're Houston, how do you let Kelvin go?
You don't.
This is the best Houston basketball has been since Phi Slamma Jamma. You keep him there next 4 or 5 years. I think that's about what he's got. I think that Houston Illinois game, wow, because then you get Iowa Nebraska. You know, I think the winner of Illinois Houston is in the Final Four. I think Coach Sampson. I think Houston Cougars. If we're looking at this, Phil, who do you think? Who's the lock to make the Final Four? Is it Iowa State? Is it Michigan? I think it's Houston. Out of that, I think if they can get past Illinois, Houston's going to be in the Final Four again.
The lock you can only be a lock for a Final Four if you're a 1 seed, right?
No, anybody. Who do you think? St. John's got a chance. I think Michigan State, UConn, that's going to be just a battle.
I still think Duke is getting there.
I don't think they're physical enough for St. John's. I think St. John's is going to get them. But as far as the lock, so you think Duke's the lock to get to the Final Four? I think Houston's the lock. I think if Houston gets past Illinois, they're going to be ready for an Iowa-Nebraska game. Now, Be a little tricky, one of those games, but I like Houston.
I wondered if Michigan might be that lock. So
I got them in the championship game, yeah.
I think Alabama will give them a good game and everything, but I don't think Alabama's going to have quite everything they'll need for Michigan. And I don't think Tennessee or Iowa State would. Iowa State could.
They lost their best player, though.
Who?
Iowa State doesn't have their best player playing anymore.
Really? No, that I wasn't aware.
So that's why I'm kind of almost liking Tennessee a little bit. They got whatever the last game was. I just watched Iowa State play, and they're in street clothes.
That's what made the Kentucky loss even sweeter.
Yeah, they got beat without Iowa State's best player.
Hey, I needed to bring this up for you, Unit. You remember his doppelganger? What was the kid's name? Who was the hype man
Blue
for
Kane?
McNeese? No, that's his anti-hype man. That's his least favorite player in the
I don't
sport.
know his name, but
I mean the doppelganger, the guy who looks like Unit, who was walking behind
from St. Louis?
His 15 minutes of
No,
fame.
it was the guy. Remember, he was Will Wade's hype man at McNeese. He would carry out the big ghetto blaster with all the music and all the players behind it. Literally looks like the Unit. And I thought he went
Amir
to NC
Ora
State.
Khan.
I thought he went to NC State for a year with Wade and then ended up back at McNeese. So now that LSU is potentially kicking the tires on hiring Wade again, I got to open up this tweet here because it's just you lay the groundwork first. And people on social media and on Twitter, specifically X, will do a lot of that work for you. So somebody got on Will Wade's Twitter account and saw that in the recent, the last 2 weeks, he has followed all sorts of LSU accounts. All sorts of LSU accounts. I mean, school accounts, media accounts that cover LSU athletics and everything. And now, according to John Rothstein, LSU is looking to hire McNeese's Heath Schroyer as the senior administrator. And he worked with him at McNeese. He worked with Wade at McNeese. So you're going to have to, Matt, make sure Unit does not leave his post as our show producer because they're going to need a new hype man over there in Baton Rouge. And if Amir has another thing going on, Unit is the doppelganger.
You hadn't heard much about him since then, have you? I hadn't.
Well, I don't know if his.
What about the Red Rocket from Florida State, their ball boy that was running around? It's kind of the same vein. Is that kind of the same?
He can go to High Point and be their hype man.
Well, all I know is he's our hype man, and I'm good with that. I don't need Unit leaving for any other reason. And Amir Khan hadn't been in the news for a long, long time, but now that Wade is getting back out there and probably they haven't even fired McMahon yet at LSU, and their season has been over for what, 2 weeks?
For a while.
Man, it's interesting. It's very interesting. The job's not even open, but yet LSU is hiring the guy that Wade worked with at McNeese. Wade's following all of these LSU social media accounts. So I don't know. Maybe something will happen by the end of the day. HR guy says the hype man is Kiffin. Yeah. That's the thing about hiring. So it's all these things about pecking order in schools. And you look at North Carolina not dipping their toe, but sticking their whole leg into college football by hiring Bill Belichick. And now they've got to find a way to get basketball right. Right? Alabama, football isn't right for them right now. And if Nate Oates were to leave, basketball isn't going to be right either. You got a thing here in LSU where I don't know what sport that school really is specializing in right now because they're great at women's basketball. They're the defending national baseball champions. Football just got the guy that seems to fit them better than anybody else, but they can't seem to figure out men's basketball. Yeah, and the track program is always good, but they can't figure out men's hoops. It's the one thing they can't figure it out. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Fenceman, serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years and counting. You know the phone number by now, 479-782-3936. Looking to get yourself a custom, one-of-a-kind fence for your house, for your business. You might need a high-security fence or automatic gates. The Fenceman can do it all for you, plus 18-month financing available, too. Get a look online at thefencemanAR.com or call 479-782-3936 for the Fenceman. He ain't afraid of no work. We had a little pickle juice baseball magic last night at Baum-Walker Stadium. We'll have that in a moment. Stay with us.
Pony Boy Curtis.
That's an original name.
This is halftime.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-777-1225. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-777-1225. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-777-1225. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-777-1225. 800-777-1225 or biglou.com.
Hogs are running them out.
This is halftime.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful. Not when you work with Tara Lindbergh and the Lindbergh Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LindberghTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
I want to ride my
Looking for a new ride or need a tune-up? Champion Cycling in Fort Smith has you covered. From top-of-the-line bikes like Specialized and Surly to expert repairs, apparel, and accessories, we've got everything you need to hit the trails. Stop by 5500 Mazard Road during business hours or shop anytime online at championcycling.com. Champion Cycling, helping you share in the joy of cycling.
Do you need closure on your garage? Call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR. Grit is who you can trust.
Spring is here, and it's the perfect time to upgrade your home. If your garage door needs repair or you're ready for a new look, call Precision Garage Door. From broken springs and openers to brand new doors, they provide expert service and professional installation. Fully licensed and insured, with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers, and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call 844-PDS-DOOR or visit PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Precision Garage Door, voted the best in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off. Or take 5.9% financing for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2026 GMC Canyon for as low as $399 a month with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
try and hold that feeling for so long. And if you feel like I feel, come on. Oh! Get it on. Let's love, baby. Let's get it on. Sugar. Let's get it on. Ooh, ooh.
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right, Matt, Christian, listeners, I got something I got to play for you here from last night's baseball game. I got to set the story up first here. So I think I brought this up with you a couple of weeks ago, Matt, because, we got the pickle juice shots in the Circle K in the by the Razorback dugout. And you remember I brought a couple of pickle juice shots up 2 weeks ago and basically forced Bubba to drink one on the air, and it looked like it was the most disgusting thing he'd ever tried in his life. I actually think they taste fine. Did I remember if you had any thoughts on flavors of pickle juice shots? Are they okay with them? And it's good for you when you're an athlete, right?
I eat 3 pickles a day.
See?
Yeah, you're supposed to eat pickles.
You're supposed to eat pickles, Bubba. What's wrong with you? So we had a listener that that obviously was listening at that moment. Last night, before we go on the air for the UCA game, her name is Devin, and she had seats in Hog Heaven, which is right by our booth, and she looked at us and then walks up and hands Bubba a honey stinger with his name on it in stars, because he's got a thing for the honey stingers, and then she hands me a pickle juice shot with my name on it in stars. And I was first of all, I'm touched that you actually bought me something to help with my lack of hydration. Because during a baseball game, I'm trying not to drink too much because you only get 60 seconds to use the restroom. So that was very thoughtful of her. And I told her I'm going to use this only when we need it. I'm not going to drink it right now because that was like 35 minutes before the game started. So I went and put it back in the refrigerator in the press box. And then it happened to be a 2-0 UCA lead in the 4th inning. Oh. And I thought this might be the right time. Well, let's see if it worked.
So that'll make Helfrich 0 for 2. I better drink this pickle juice shot.
You better drink it quick.
I brought it over here because this is a functional organic beverage. It's for muscle cramp relief. Drink prior or the onset of discomfort. And I have a little bit of discomfort with the score. How's that?
Then get it in you.
Zach Stewart's the batter. Here's the pitch. And it is low, ball 1. Thank you very much to Devin, who brought me this pickle juice shot with my name on it in stars. And this is the sound of this will be the sound of pleasure in a moment. 1-0 is a ball outside on Stewart. 2 balls, no strikes.
I feel like I can already smell it. You haven't even drank it yet. Look at you go. Wow.
That's good. You can take over the world now.
That's got to be a run.
2-0, Stewart takes ball 3 downstairs.
If Dave knew you just drank that, he'd give him the green light right here, 3-0.
That's great. You want to know what the ingredients were in this?
No.
No, you don't want to know. 3-0 pitch is a strike on the outside corner.
I would assume pickle.
Lots of it, yeah. The juice of a pickle. Salt or organic dill oil, that's your favorite, isn't it?
Yeah, I got to get me some of that.
Here's the 3-1. Stewart with a high drive to left field. Way back it goes. Get yourself a pickle juice shot. Zach Stewart's at a home run.
I love it. Give me some of that stuff. How perfect is that?
It must have been the organic dill oil.
That's a great swing.
Thanks,
right
Devin.
there. That's a great swing right there.
Devin just came over. She's listening, and that's on her.
Yeah.
That's Devin's home run.
That is awesome.
And then they went on to score 10 runs the next inning before the first out. I think I'm going to need a couple thousand pickle juice shots for the rest of the season.
That's who said the announcers aren't in charge? That's
kidding.
The opposite of the announcer's curse, right? That's the announcer's blessing. That was cool.
That is one of the weirder moments of my career. I never had any effect on a game, Matt, until I drank a pickle juice shot live on the air. You know, the next thing that happened, and maybe this is also part of it, there's a gentleman who sits at Hog Heaven that, not for every game, but for some games, He brings candy to the game. He sees our open booth. 4th or 5th inning, he'll walk by. He'll throw a candy into my window and one into Bubba's window. Yesterday, like last home game he did this, it was sugar-free Werther's Originals. Like, I'm not eating a sugar-free Werther's Original. I want the real Grandpa candy with the real sugar in it, not some of that aspartame stuff. So I put that off to the side. Yesterday, the gentleman threw at us a couple of Kinder chocolates. Now, these are good. These are the ones that have the little white filling in it, and they were the fun size. So at this point, I already got us a home run by eating a pickle juice shot. Let's see what happens when you eat a chocolate. I ate the chocolate. Bubba opens his, and it drops on the floor. And he lets it sit there. So, like, 5-second rule. What about a 5,000-second rule? Because the thing just kept sitting there as we're calling the game, and Arkansas is about to go on this crazy 10-run inning. Those 10 runs scored before the first out. So I was like, you know what? You can't just let the thing sit there. I picked it up. I put it on his scorebook. It had been sitting there for 3 minutes, and you know what he did, Matt? He ate the thing. And they continue. The next thing that happens, TJ Pompey hits a grand slam. So it's not just pickle juice shots, it's fuzzy chocolates. Hairy chocolates will work too.
Yeah, that organic dill oil, it must have fell in that kept it clean from whatever that was on the bottom of your shoes. I'm sure that's good for you.
I know, I got the health. Bubba got the thing that's probably going to shorten his life by about 2 months.
Well, I think he's been doing that. He's been living that way, so he's fine now. He's got the antibodies up from Floor. Yeah, Floor doesn't get him sick. Like that's a Floor.
That's a good point. There's nothing that's going to get that man sick. What an inning that was too. Like 10 runs before the first out. I'm sure I've never seen anything like that before. To score 10 runs in an inning, I mean, that's one thing. 10 runs before the first out? I've never seen it. I'm sure it's happened before, but I'd never even heard of it, truthfully. 15-2 for a win yesterday. That was really nice to see. Pompey hit 2 home runs. It's great. But still, one of the things that stood out about yesterday's game that everybody is really harping on is we had a debut yesterday for Ty Briscoe, a pitcher who's, I think he's from around here, and he hadn't thrown yet. He goes out to pitch in the 7th inning of a blowout, 15-2, and the first pitch this kid throws is 97 miles per hour. He's a lefty. He's a freshman, and he's also a position player. You're like, whoa, that'll make you stand up and take notice. He struck out all 3 batters he faced. I don't think any of those batters really are all that good, but 97 when you hadn't pitched yet this year, that says something about the depth of this bullpen. I'm not here to tell you he was about to go out and throw 3 innings against Florida this weekend, but when you have that, as a freshman, and I don't know how many people had even heard of him, man, that says something about it. 877-377-6963 for the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. I can't drink the pickle juice shot before every game. Like, at some point, the magic wears off. It has to be for moments when we feel desperate. But I can't also just travel all around the SEC with like a briefcase of.
Do they not still sell pickles at the concession stand? Is that how old I am now?
Not at the ballparks.
They used to sell nachos with that good cheese, and then they would just have a big jar of pickles with the tongs in there, and they'd grab you a pickle, and you get it for $1.50. No.
You can do that at many convenience stores, but I don't know the ballpark where you can. You know what we could have done yesterday, though? $2 hot dogs, Matt.
I like a good hot dog.
And it wasn't just – I've seen so many dollar hot dog days where there is a specific size for the dollar hot dog, and it's no bigger than your pinky. Yesterday's hot dog was the regular size hot dog they were selling for $2. 4,301 was the hot dog count that they sold yesterday. A new school record. I didn't eat any of them because I'm not eating a hot dog during a baseball broadcast. But, dip them in. Ooh, what about coring out the hot dog like your boy the Yankee fan that used the hot dog as a beer straw and used that for some pickle juice up through the hot dog. A little hot dog flavored pickle juice never hurt anybody.
Guy Ferrari talking about taking you to Flavor Town.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a flavor anybody really wants to try. Carl says, don't be a quitter. Scott watched him pitch. His glove was shaking like a leaf. Briscoe, I'm sure he was. I mean, it's his debut. I mean, it wasn't just his season debut. It was his college debut. So he was shaking like a leaf. But I think those batters up there, 97 from a kid who's a left-hander, I think they were the ones that ended up shaking. Anyway, that was so much fun yesterday. And truthfully, that was Zach Stewart's 49th career home run, but that was also Devin's first career home run. Like if I get any credit for drinking the pickle juice shot and leading to the home run, well, the person who bought the pickle juice and handed it to me because she's such a dedicated listener, and I can't even throw out the jar. I can't throw the jar out, Matt, because it's.
How is she going to take the fly to Omaha this year? That's the jar that you're going to put them in. You know, I say, hey.
There's a lot going on in my mind right now about that.
It's only weird if it doesn't work. We
Yes.
got to get the team to Omaha. We got to get a championship. Let's go.
It is only weird if it doesn't work. And so it definitely is not weird. It worked yesterday, so there's nothing weird about it. Oh, man, that's good. I can't wait to – well, I'll save it until another couple of days when Florida comes in and it's 2-0 in the fourth inning, and then we'll see if it works again.
Hey, I'm 3-0 my last 3 games I've attended. Lost the first one, so went to four Razorback games in the last 3 years, and the last 3 were 3-0.
And you got a walk-off home run in your last game.
Hey, I got to stay away now for a while. I'm away.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got any plans this weekend, Matt? We don't have any – we're home. We're gone the next 2 weekends.
Wait, yeah, March Madness got some things going on, but we'll get them there closer to when it really matters.
Too bad. All right. Well, that's okay. You get any shirtless selfies from Charlie today? From Charlie Liggett? Any of those come in?
You know, I haven't heard from him today. They've been some of those pictures though, man. It's like I want to go to Jamaica. Like, how cool is some of that?
I want to be on the Liggett family. I want Charlie Liggett to be my dad.
Little Godfather sort of thing, yeah.
That's right. That's right. Did I drink pickle juice today, JT? No, I'm on my second giant coffee from the Maverick across the street here. I'm not. Yeah, that's the only thing I've had. I've had like a grape and a little piece of cheese, and that's it. So that's my day. That's my day in calories. What did I say before I took the shot, Seth? Something like I wasn't feeling well. That's right. I wasn't feeling well because of the score. It was 2-0 UCA, and the last time Arkansas trailed against a team out of the state, they lost to Arkansas State, and it was bad. So no, I had kind of some flashbacks about that. Half a day to get pickle juice NIL deal. Thank you, Hognoxious. Well, that's up to the salespeople at the radio station to work something like that out. Any homegrown pickle companies out there? I don't think they make – the Pickle Factory in Atkins got shut down years ago, unfortunately. Otherwise, I think we might have ourselves a little pickle juice NIL deal. 877-377-6963 is the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Hey, there's just a few days left to take advantage of the Hustler Pro Sales event at WT Equipment right now. 20% or more off of select commercial mowers. Plus, you can take advantage of additional fleet savings from Hustler Turf Equipment, not just commercial. WT Equipment is fully stocked with both commercial and residential Hustlers. They're ready for crews and homeowners alike. So if you're just upgrading your fleet or just looking to mow your own lawn, stop by WT Equipment today, WTEquip.com, and lock in the savings. Back in a moment to wrap up hour number 2. This is Halftime.
This is Halftime.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Enclaves at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. That's $4,000 off and 4.9% financing for up to 84 months on this luxurious third-row SUV. Or drive the brand-new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited-time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
Spring is here, and it's the perfect time to upgrade your home. If your garage door needs repair or you're ready for a new look, call Precision Garage Door. From broken springs and openers to brand new doors, they provide expert service and professional installation. Fully licensed and insured, with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers, and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call 844-PDS-DOOR or visit PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Precision Garage Door, voted the best in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Winter has arrived, bringing frosty mornings, holiday travels, and unpredictable roads. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we've got you covered. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your vehicle for everything winter has in store. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Do you feel that, Arkansas? The Lotto jackpot is now more than $1 million. Why should you care? Because this $1 million+ prize can only be won in Arkansas. There are 2 Lotto drawings every week, and the jackpot keeps growing until there's a winner. Join the fun and play Lotto today. A $2 ticket could change your life. Get yours in stores today. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Come see Cody and the gang at Advanced Mechanical Performance. You can find them at 3201 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith. Need repair or service for your ATV or UTV? Advanced Mechanical Performance can do it all, as well as taking care of all of your power sports parts accessory needs. Give them a call today at 434-4161. That's 434-4161. Or stop by 3201 Wheeler Avenue. Advanced Mechanical Performance. It's what you should be striving for.
It's your favorite time of year, March Madness, and the #1 place to get all your alcohol this basketball postseason is Eastside Liquor in Fort Smith. Located at 9390 Rogers Avenue, Eastside Liquor has everything you need. Dave Bushko and his team have all your beer, seltzers, wine, liquor, and more. Eastside Liquor, they always come up clutch in the postseason.
Arkansas wins the national championship!
We're keeping Arkansas beautiful. Want to lend a hand? Don't be afraid to get them dirty. Every day, volunteers around the state are picking up litter, planting trees and wildflowers, recycling, and more. You know what these volunteers need most? Help. Volunteer today at KeepArkansasBeautiful.com. Learn more about all our programs. A message brought to you by the Keep Arkansas Beautiful Commission, this station, and the Arkansas Broadcasters Association.
Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March.
My little pretty one, when you gonna give me some time, sugar? Will you make my motor run? My motor run, got it coming off of the line, sugar. Yes, I'm gonna stop, give it up, such a dirty bite, get it up, gonna stop, the other kind, bye, bye, bye.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Well, we have a text message on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline here from Devin, who brought me the pickle juice shot yesterday. She's listening to halftime as well, and she says she'll be back on the 7th and the 29th with pickle juice in hand. So on the 7th, let's see, Arkansas plays the Little Rock Trojans. And on the 29th, they'll play against Northwestern State. So those are midweek games. Devin, I'm going to have to make sure I get the same kind of pickle juice shot, but I'm going to need some for the weekends, and I think I'll have to supply them for myself. Very good. So we've got a little thing for ourselves here. Very nice. In other news, this Kansas situation is getting a little bit more interesting. Kansas coach Bill Self is denying rumors that he is planning to retire, but that there is still no time frame for his decision to either remain or leave as the Kansas head coach. And so the word would be non-committal. He texted the Kansas City Star earlier today. When they asked him if he's leaving, he says, "No news, all BS, bad info," unquote. But that still doesn't say, Matt, whether or not he's going to continue as the Kansas head coach. And again, this is the kind of thing that they've got to get figured out ASAP, because just like Arkansas had Cal in place just before the Final Four, and he still had to rush to put a team together, you do not want to be looking for a coach the week of the Final Four. And it sounds like Self isn't sure what he wants to do.
Yeah, it might be towards the end for his tenure there. I'm a Bill Self fan, no question about it. Did he miss some time last year? He had some heart surgery. I mean, he's got some health stuff going on as well. I just think he's done. I think it's a crazy time. I think the North Carolina job and the Kansas job both being open at the same time will be wild. And if anything, Phil, he's going to be at Kansas one more year or two. Like, it's not like he's going to be there another decade. So it's just if the moment's right, what's going on. But man, the Kansas job and the Tar Heel job open at the same time.
That's craziness. I guess the last time that happened,
Roy Williams went.
It was
right?
Roy Williams leaving Kansas for North Carolina. Yeah, Troy asked Self to North Carolina.
Yeah.
No, I mean, this is the end. See, that's the thing. I always felt like when Roy Williams left Kansas for North Carolina, I understood because he was a UNC guy, but I never pictured Kansas as a program that you leave to go somewhere else. And Bill Self is not leaving Kansas to go anywhere else except to ride off into the sunset. But that's how people view the UNC job, man. I mean, we got Razorback fans nervous that Cal is going to leave. You know, I'm sure it's different with Self because it's I really don't think that would be realistic. But those are the names people are thinking of. Which, when you think of that too, it's surprising that they went with Hubert Davis.
What about is it Matt White? Who's the coach at Florida and Georgia? I'm trying to think of those two coaches.
Well, it's Golden is at Florida, White's at Georgia, and White left Florida for Georgia.
I could see White going to UNC.
That'd be an interesting choice too.
Young, he had Georgia playing better. You know, you got to think that's best Georgia's looked in a couple years.
Do wonder about the way that last game in the tournament went for them, though. And I know North Carolina just it was Kentucky that suffered their worst loss in tournament history since '72. What if Kentucky were to get rid of Pope and then you get Kansas, Kentucky, and North Carolina open the same year?
I think that was on the Mayan calendar.
We're coming back into hour number 3. Dudley Dawson in about 20 minutes. Right back.
Get in on the madness with matching down payments at Harry Robinson, Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal. Now till the end of the month, they'll match your down payments at Harry Robinson.
Tommy, you said it perfectly. It is madness down here. We have been selling cars left and right. Come down here and see us. We're going to match your down payment up to $2,000 right now at Harry Robinson, Salisal Ford. We got the selection to choose from, and this $2,000 helps you out in so many ways. You know, you were looking at that truck that you wanted to buy that had the leather and the heated seats, but it was about $60 too much on payment, right? You got that $4,000 down, and that lowers your payment $80. Now you get the truck that you wanted. So come and see us. Like I said, we've got the inventory to choose from, and this matching down payments helps you in so many ways.
And it's on every vehicle on the lot, brand new Fords, and every pre-owned vehicle in stock. Matching down payments up to $2,000 all this month at Harry Robinson, Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Is your bracket busted? Don't worry. You can still redeem yourself in the ESPN Arkansas and Mach 1 Motorsports Bracket Challenge Motorcycle Madness giveaway by filling out a Sweet 16 bracket. Start over and pick who you think will advance past the Sweet 16. For contest rules and to fill out your Sweet 16 bracket, go to hitthatline.com/bracket. Our bracket challenge would not be possible without our presenting sponsors: Moix RV of Arkansas, Butler Furniture, Swift's Jewelry, and Twin Peaks and Rogers.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Sunny skies and warm today, highs in the mid-80s, a south wind at 5 to 15 miles an hour. Mostly clear tonight, lows in the low to mid-60s. Sunny skies on Thursday with highs in the mid to upper 80s. Mostly clear with an isolated chance for a thunderstorm in the north Thursday night, lows in the mid to upper 50s. I'm Matthew Harding with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by COP CDL Academy. Want a life-changing career? Give them a call today at 479-632-1050 or check them out online at copcdlacademy.com.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studio.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it. We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field. Yeah. You both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
What name of one Razorback? Is vintage Matt Jones. The Cinderella story is over, man. Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back. Hour 3, 1:01 of the afternoon, and halftime continues. You're listening to ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. We got another hour here before Ruskin and Zach will take over. I'm Phil Elson. Matt Jones is my partner. Kristen Johnston is producing. Dudley Dawson about 15 minutes from right now. If you want to get with us, now is the moment. Lewis Automotive Group hotline is open at 877-377-6963. Cal and Arkansas players should be having a media session in the afternoon in San Jose, and also hear from Tommy Lloyd and the Arizona group. Lloyd's a name that's getting thrown out potentially about the North Carolina job. I don't think that would throw a monkey wrench into their planning for the Razorbacks, but right there is a coach who's got a good program. He's built, well, that Arizona already has had a great program before him, but they did have, I think there were some sanctions from the Sean Miller era. So there's another name right there. Tommy Lloyd's being thrown around as a potential replacement for Hubert Davis at North Carolina. Otherwise, you're just looking at this matchup here, and Matt, I know you're interested in how this game will unfold in front of us tomorrow. How important is it going to be, You remember how you thought that Arkansas didn't need Nick Pringle against Hawaii, but they would need him against Wisconsin. Turned out they didn't need him against Wisconsin. Do they need him and what he can do over the course of however many minutes he can play against this Arizona team that is so good rebounding both defensively and especially offensively?
Well, that's the key to the game, I think, is how do you control the paint? You got to limit their second chance opportunities. You got to score in transition and keep attacking the paint. Who shoots more free throws? There's little keys, I think, that can help Arkansas win. If we lose the rebounding battle by 7, we're not winning. We're not winning this game. If we lose the rebounding battle by 10, we're not winning. Yes, we need Nick Pringle to be in there. Even if it's 4 minutes a half, can you run up and down, get 3 boards, 2 fouls, kind of do whatever? And the other thing, you just got to give Malik Ewing a little bit of a breather. That's the other thing. So I don't know if he's going to play or how he can play. Did he play in the SEC championship game?
Yes.
So it'll be 2 weeks. It'd be about 11 days or so, 12 days since his last game time. And he doesn't play a lot anyway, so it's not like you're saying Nick has to give us 30 minutes. The trick, the thing is we're going to face some adversity in this Arizona game. The Hogs have faced adversity a handful of times this year. And a couple different times we got personal fouls and technical fouls and pushing players. How do we respond when things aren't necessarily going our way a little bit? Arizona's going to make a 12-0 run. Arizona's going to make an 8-0 run. How do you respond, settle in? I think we're okay. I don't think the moment's too big for us. I think we're fine. Like I really think Arkansas can beat Arizona. And I'm not just saying that because I've seen Arkansas play all year. But when you have the best player on the floor, you have a chance. The inside presence game, that's what scared me of Wisconsin with the matchup with Wisconsin and Arkansas was our inside presence isn't that well. Malik Ewing played his best game in the last 7 games against High Point. He controlled the paint. Brazile had some rebounds. Between Billy Richmond, Malik Ewing, and Trevin Brazile, they had 30 rebounds. They need that number again. Between those 3 guys, because they're here, and I say that, Phil, because they're all playing 30-plus minutes. It's not like one's playing 17. No, they're all playing 30-plus minutes. Gotta have somewhere around that number again, I think, if we're gonna win tomorrow night. How fun, though.
There's a word that you use there that I think is important when you're talking about what Pringle does for Arkansas defensively and rebounding-wise in the lane. It's the word presence. And I think so often we're stuck at looking at numbers, the box score, production, so to speak, for somebody that it's like when I watched the championship game against Vanderbilt, it's like I felt like this about Nick Pringle back in January at times. Now, look, this wasn't the case all season long, but there were a lot of games, and those 2 I'm talking about, the championship game is at the top of my list, where he might not have done a lot that looked, points, rebounds, but at the end of it, if you want to look at the end of the guy's stat line on the box score, there was a really big plus-minus number attached to him. And I think of some of the things that he might do. Like, Matt, when you think of presence, the kind of presence that Pringle can help with, what is that presence, and how can it help against Arizona? Because I'm thinking Arizona is the kind of team, as I read about them, that they're able to create driving lanes through their bigs, and I think that already positions those bigs to be at the right place for an offensive rebound and an easy stick back.
Well,
and you think of what Pringle can do, be in the right place to get somebody out of the way. He might not grab the rebound, but somebody else will.
And you're right. It's about positioning. So when you're playing basketball, spacing, leverage, positioning, these are words you're going to use. And so Pringle can position himself where his defender, he can wall him off, where when Acuff, Malik Thomas, Billy Richmond beats their guy, his guy can't help because he's walling him off a little bit, gives him a free pass. That doesn't show up on the scorebook. Like, you don't see, but when you're watching the game, our bigs do that pretty well. Pringle does that good too. Ewing does that good too, but that's a little thing you can do. But really it's getting rebounds, man. When the shot goes up from the opponent, you think, well, Pringle can get that, Brazile can get that, Richmond can get that. Those guys got to go to the boards and then when Pringle can get the board everybody else can run the lanes and we can get fast break points. How many easy baskets do we get against Arizona, or do we struggle for everything? Because if I'm Arizona, that's what I do. I do not let us get out on transition. Whatever we're doing, do not let us get out on transition. Make us work for everything. Because that's what Arkansas. We led the nation in dunks. That means you're getting a lot of easy baskets.
And for me, in the half court, it's going to be. I mean, they're going to have to hit from the outside. I think there's going to be. Look, Darius going to be able to drive. Billy will drive. But for me, in the half court, and I know you got to be able to get into the middle. But if they can't run the ball in transition, Matt, you got to have the Arkansas that was tops in the SEC in 3-point percentage for most of the season, if not to the end. I didn't look at the rankings recently, but. Man, you're going to need to hit from the outside if you can't get that transition going. Because if you look at the 2 games they already played, how easy was it for Arkansas to get transition against Hawaii? I mean, that was practically the whole game was a dunk fest. And against High Point, that was back and forth.
Teams.
High Point didn't care.
Both teams, yeah.
Arizona's going to be able to get back down the court defensively.
Best team Arkansas has played all year. No question about it. It'd be Coach Cal's biggest win, probably his biggest win in his last 4 years of coaching basketball. I'm trying to think of Kentucky's last couple of years. It's not like they won some big game that they weren't supposed to win. When's the last time Coach Cal's been a 9-point dog? I think chip on your shoulder, whatever the message is, playing with house money, all the terminology you want to use. I think he'll have them right. I think he'll have them ready.
Didn't he have a 9 seed that went all the way to the championship game?
Those are the Harrison twins. I think their second year that they came back. They hit a lot of big shots late.
They had to have been a big underdog in a game or two.
Yeah, so that would have been 7 years ago. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, this is Coach Cal's biggest game that he's coached in a while. It's Arkansas raising, because, and not only that, is the last couple times, even last year when we played the Sweet 16 game, nobody really thought, hey, we're going to win this game against Texas Tech. Nobody really thought that. We could have. And with Coach Muss, you're just like, oh, that was our ceiling. We made it. We beat Kansas. We beat Baylor. Baylor beat us the year that they won the title. We beat Kansas the next year. But it's fun to believe. It's fun to hope. It's fun to have a chance and to really feel. I know the numbers say 9-point dog or 8 point, but it doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like we're a 9-point dog.
I think this team's going to need to hit double-digit threes. That's happened in 6 games this year against Arizona. That's it. They allowed 14 against Iowa State in a win in the conference tournament, and that's the most they've allowed, 11, 13, 11, 10, and 12. Otherwise, it's tough to shoot the 3 against this team. You think of all the big leads that they've had, and they're still defending the 3 very, very well. JT says you need 20 points in transition. Yeah, you've got to be able to do that, too. It's like you hear Cal talking about, they're going to do what they do. We're going to be us. So Arkansas also has to push the ball. Like I'm talking about what they got to do in the half court. But, man, Matt, they have to push the ball full court. Because if they're not going to be them, they're not going to be – they can't win being anybody else.
What's Brazile look like? How's Brazile feeling on Thursday night at 9 o'clock? Is he feeling like he's springy? Is he feeling like somebody's putting an elbow in his back and he doesn't want to play? Is he feeling like is the mojo feeling good, or is he not really feeling it? Like that might be the key, because I'll be honest, it looks like Malik Thomas, he's going to get 20. He's going to get 17. Like he's going to do his thing. He can score. He's a bona fide scorer. But so the question is, and Billy Richmond, not worried. He's going to give it to you on both sides. Not worried. I think the Robin for this game is Brazile. I think that's how, being their bigs and what you're talking about. If Brazile feels like being the best player on the floor on Thursday night, Arkansas wins. If Brazile feels like being the eighth best player on the floor, Arkansas doesn't.
We're back in a moment. We're going to be talking with Dudley Dawson about this basketball game and a little bit of baseball, so stay with us here on Halftime.
It's tournament time, and the road to the Final Four starts now. ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com are bringing you all the...
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner. Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu has so much Lutz, it's starting to go to people's heads. I'm the Lutziers.
Which is the mini taco salad fork?
Here to help them cope. So when you try the mini taco salad, beefy potato loaded griller, or chips and nacho supreme dip, enjoy the Lutz. Just don't let it go to your head.
Yeah, bring the car around.
You know there's no valet.
Then who's getting the car?
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu. 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less.
It's almost over. The ultimate challenge here at Lewis Automotive Group, our biggest one yet. We're so close to selling 600 vehicles in the month of March. We've got more than 1,000 vehicles to choose from, $2 million in discounts, and we're not holding anything back all month long. Get up to $20,000 off MSRP or 0% financing on select models. Payments starting at $199 a month. Only for a limited time at the Lewis Automotive Group's Ultimate Challenge.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for, only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com, RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
While most people are playing for bragging rights, MyBookie is giving away $100,000 in their Madness Bracket Contest. This is about turning your ball knowledge into bankroll. Head to MyBookie.ag. Use code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and get your first bet covered up to $500. If it misses, activate your Bet Back bonus token and run it back. The madness only comes once a year, so don't just watch it, win it. Only at MyBookie. Must opt in during the bet to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they love the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with the free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Oh my gosh! What got you into Disco Duck today, Matt Jones?
Man, we got some Cyndi Lauper coming up. We had a little Afternoon Delight coming on. We had some My Sharona. I mean, we had Lou Reed. What are we talking about, man? What a great show today!
Absolutely, man. That's right. That's Rick Dees, who followed in the footsteps of Casey Kasem. That's right. Oh, watch out over there, unit. Goodness gracious. Our hype man. Dudley Dawson's with us too here. Dudley, of course, joining us Wednesdays or Thursdays these days. We've been kind of bouncing a little bit back and forth today. Dudley, happy to have you on today, and we appreciate your time. How are you?
I'm good. I actually got to know Rick Dees a little bit when he was a Memphis DJ, and I was over there in Northeast Arkansas and got to see him at several functions. He was pretty cool, dude.
That's the guy that now I've got this addiction to listening to the Casey Kasem American Top 40 episodes from the 70s and the 80s, but that's not the guy that I grew up listening to on American Top 40, because I really started listening in the early 90s, and it was Rick Dees. Like he was the American Top 40 guy.
Hey man, they still on the 70s station on Sirius XM, they play Casey's. Every Saturday morning they play one of his years. One of the week from the years. So I'm loving that stuff. As my son Brooks once told me, I love the 70s so much I went back and got my girlfriend and made her my wife. So
that's good, and that's a good thing that we have you today instead of tomorrow, right? For that very reason.
Yes. She'll be 29 again, and it's a Patriots' birthday tomorrow, and looking forward to treating her to some stuff that includes me not working, which is one of her favorite gifts.
Yeah, but you're watching the basketball game tomorrow night, and at some point you'll be writing about it. So that'll be work, and hopefully it'll be pleasure too.
But she wants to watch base. She wants to watch the Cardinal game and the Cardinals opener, and then she wants to watch the Razorback game at night. But we'll do it at a location other than the house.
Okay, very good. So who's got a better chance to win, the Cardinals on opening day or the Razorbacks against Arizona?
The Razorbacks. The Razorback. I mean, I don't think Tampa Bay hadn't delved into them too much. Obviously, they've had a quality club over the years. That's who St. Louis plays tomorrow. Arizona obviously is really good. There's a reason they're a 10-point favorite and all that. I picked them in all my brackets, trying to be objective about things. Would really like Arkansas's chances more if Nick Pringle played and if Carter Knox could come back. But Arizona should be favored. But this is March, and I've been watching a lot of stuff over the years when that's supposed to happen that doesn't happen.
All right, Dudley, give me your not on your bracket. This is just a redo. Wash everything out. Just these 16 teams that we got going. Who is the Final Four? I got Houston as a lock. I think that's the lock to go to a Final Four. I got Michigan in the Midwest bracket. I got Arizona out west, and I got St. John's in the east. Give me your Final Four as it stands with this Sweet 16. When we talk to you next week, who's going to be in the Final Four?
Well, I had Florida getting to the final and losing to Arizona, so obviously they're not there now. So Houston would have been my choice out of that bracket if Florida wasn't left. So Duke, Arizona, and Iowa State.
Iowa State, yeah. Alyssa has Iowa State as well. What is it? So Phil and I were talking earlier, and I watched a little Iowa State. I mean, my favorite Iowa State Cyclone is Marcus Fizer. that played years ago.
Remember? Yes.
But
Yes.
what is how much do you think it hurts them though with their best player? Not is their best player going to be able to come back if they make the Final Four?
He may be able to come back and make the Final Four. Definitely not going to be able to play this weekend, from what I understand. But yeah, Justin Jefferson is a very good player. They've got a wealth of them though, and I have just been impressed watching them all year. And I think they've got the opportunity to be there. That's why I placed them in the bracket. And once Florida got out, I started. Rooting's not the right word, but if I want to win something, I've got to have the people that I put in the bracket get to the end. So,
I picked Arkansas to win the championship, but I did that because I did that for my heart. But there was a little bit in my head that led to that too, Dudley, and it's because of Darius Acuff. More than anything, it's because of Darius Acuff. Like, to me, if you have the guy that everybody's talking about in the NCAA tournament, and we've watched enough of him to know, you got a chance if you got that guy.
Yeah, I've now acquiesced to the fact that he's had the best freshman season of any Razorback over the course of the time I've been watching. And, I've written a couple of books on the history of Razorback basketball, and I've now acquiesced to him being that maybe not the best player ever here, but boy, he's right there too. But I will go ahead and acquiesce to him having the best freshman season.
And on the other end of the spectrum, a guy that's transferred in, as far as Trevin Brazile, a guy that transferred in, gets hurt, plays a lot, is in his last year. We've seen his growth, man. I'm a Brazile fan. I think you are too. What do I think he's the key to the game with the bigs and how it's going to match up? What's the key? Like, I think if we can out rebound Arizona, we win this game. Like, if that was just one stat you wanted to look at, what is one stat that you got?
Yeah, I totally agree with that, and they cannot let I'll butcher his name, but Kavika, they cannot let him establish a presence in the paint. Brazile and Ewan have got to be able to defend him and keep him from not only scoring, which he didn't do a lot into the latter half of the game last time, but he dominated the defensive boards, dominated the offensive boards, was just a very integral part for them, gave him a lot of energy, I think, is the best thing. And they've got tons of good guards too, but I think he's the key. You have to somehow neutralize his effect, and that effect goes throughout the box score.
Hey, Dudley, what did you think when you saw that North Carolina was open? First of all, did you have any thoughts on the job Hubert Davis did, and if they let him go too early? And then, where do you put that job in the structure of college basketball?
If you're a blue blood, you cannot lose in the first round or second round or whatever. They just don't allow that. And when he made the decision to not play. To go with such a short bench, it's one thing if you only have 9 people on scholarship. It's another if you just decide to play. Somebody called him out on it and said, why did you decide to play no subs in the second half? He said, I just made a decision. And I think I knew then that he probably was feeling the pressure and that the people who do things at North Carolina were not going to put up with that. And, they'll find a reason if you do not do well enough on the court, and I think they just decided that it was better to change course. Now, who are they going to get? That's the big key. I saw somebody mention Bill Self, who I've talked about being, and he's a friend obviously from the Eddie Sutton coaching tree and all that, but I worry he's going to take care of his health, and if he does coach again, it will be at Kansas, it will be at North Carolina. But who are they going to get? And that's they believe they can upgrade, but can they?
Yeah, and obviously they're not going to be looking within the family now.
And the buyouts of all the candidates that they're tossing out there are 16, 18 million. I know they have money, but it's going to take you money to get a coach away from a school, and money to keep him at your school, and I'm not sure they're going to find the right person.
And usually we wouldn't be talking about like baseball coach things at this time of the year, but You know, I mean, you've got all these openings in college basketball at the same time now, where South Carolina is going to be looking for a baseball coach. And just, I mean, look, having a coaching opening in March in the SEC is surprising enough. For that to go down on a Friday after that game is another surprising aspect. Some of the things Mainieri's saying on his way out of town make me think he'll never go to the state of South Carolina again. There's lots of other places with beaches if he needs to. And that just because you're a Hall of Fame coach doesn't mean that your resume continues wherever you go.
Right,
and the state like that.
The state of South Carolina's media was at him, and he accelerated that by some of the things he was saying. And I know, again, we're talking about just looking for something. 22 to 6 is something. I mean, the one thing I guess that kept them from having the worst SEC start ever was them winning on Sunday. But he just, I think it's, he was great back in the day, but I'm not sure he was adapting to the college landscape in baseball now. And once you say stuff and big money boosters say that's enough, not even the man who brought him in there could save him.
Yeah, and thinking on those lines, because it's a guy that was retired for 3 years, won a national title at the place he'd been previously, and Matt had brought up the idea of Jay Wright at North Carolina. And I think I may have heard some things that Wright said before the season started that made you think he's never getting back into coaching again. But that's a guy that you have to at least contact if you're North Carolina or any other big-time program, really, because I don't know a better coach in the sport for the time that he was at Nova.
Yeah, I assume he's turned down many overtures, and will turn this down as well. I know that I've already seen that Brad Stevens has taken his name out of the running. Obviously he's the Celtics guy now, and I think he's having fun doing that instead of just coaching day to day. Especially, it's different than it was when he was at Butler now. So,
yeah.
They're gonna. I'm sure that North Carolina's going to take a shot. And I'm not saying that Hubert Davis was the guy to keep. I just think they are thinking maybe more grandiose than it's going to happen.
Yeah. When's the last time you saw a team score 10 runs before the first out in an inning, like last night?
Oh yeah, I was about to say last night, but before that, I believe it was Atlanta against St. Louis in a MLB playoff series in the first inning. I think it was 12-0 at the end of the first inning. And sorry, Tom Murphy. But that's the only thing I could come up with. I mean, I've seen teams score 10 runs, but never before the first out. And clearly, it had something to do with your pickle juice. And
of course.
Yeah, I mean, me and Patrick were driving around here a minute ago, and we were listening to you, and I said, "What?" She said, "What was he talking about that for?" I said, "Wait a minute, Stewart's about to hit a home run." So, and then there they went.
Sure enough, it happened. Hey, last thing on baseball, then we can let you go for the day. I think Dave is going to be making a change at designated hitter for this weekend, at least for the Friday series against Florida, based on the 2 at-bats that Rutenbar had yesterday, and that Eloy just doesn't look right. And it's been like 3 weeks to a month that he really hasn't looked right on a consistent basis. And he's no longer playing much right field. And I think he's been dropped farther in the batting order, and the signs are all there, to have one of your most productive hitters from last year lose his spot for a freshman that does put together some really good at-bats.
Yeah, and I think that was part of his post game last night was talking about how the length of the lineup went 1 to 9 with Rutenbar, or he said once Carter got in there, and so I mean all the kid's done is hit, and Kahua's chasing pitches. He's not right. Maybe the Pompey situation will come to him as well. I mean, you need to reassess everything, and you got to get the guys in the lineup who are that are hitting the ball well. As Florida's 20-6. They're a good team. You better be ready to go this weekend.
Dudley, appreciate you, man. Happy birthday to Petra for tomorrow. We appreciate you joining us, and thank you so much.
No problem. Enjoy it.
You got it. Dudley Dawson joining us Wednesdays or Thursdays, depending on who's got a birthday, on Halftime. 877-377-6963 if you want to touch on any of those things that we talked about with Dudley. And also got to remind you about the big deal going on at the Good Feet store on April 3rd and April 4th. You sometimes hear me talking about the Good Feet arch supports, and you can get $100 off of a Good Feet arch support system on Friday, April 3rd and Saturday, April 4th. This is at the two locations in Northwest Arkansas. There's Good Feet in Fayetteville across from Walmart on Mall Avenue, and in Rogers next to Hideaway Pizza across from Top Golf. This is how you can get your active life back at the Good Feet store. I went over to the Good Feet store a couple years ago. I've dealt with plantar fasciitis, some knee pain, ankle pain. They put me through a little walk-around test. They measured my feet, and then 5 minutes later, they bring out perfect Good Feet arch supports that are fit to my feet. These go in all my shoes. They go in my slippers. They go on flip-flops. They go in basketball shoes, hiking shoes, whatever. And they are specifically designed to fit your feet. They helped me with the pain that I've been dealing with, and it can help potentially you with the pain that you've been dealing with. But you can also get $100 off April 3rd, April 4th at the Good Feet locations in Fayetteville and in Rogers. You can learn more at goodfeet.com. It's the home stretch of halftime. We are back right after the break.
You could not live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me.
This is halftime.
Superstars Joe Klein and Pat Bradley for Arkansas's #1 sports app, Bet Saracen.
Joe, you know the main difference between Bet Saracen and those other guys?
Definitely easier to navigate. Always good parlays. Plus lots of fun choices, like ping pong, right there on the app.
But the real difference are those special promos.
Get $250 on us with your first $25 wager.
Gambling problem? Call 800-GAMBLER.
Harry Douglas here to tell you about Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy. It tastes just like the best birthday cake ever. Vanilla, buttery, frosting vibes. It's basically a party in a bottle. Confetti Craze makes it easy to turn any day into a party with its delicious birthday cake flavor and big birthday energy. And here's the best part. All cake, no sugar. I bring these tiny bottles everywhere to cakeify my day with tasty caffeine boosts. The Funfetti flavor is back on 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon. Crack open a Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy shot today.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
0% financing is back at Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw. Brand new Fords as low as 0%.
Yes, that is true, Tommy. You can get 0% financing 36 months right now on the new Fords. And here's the big kicker. You know, that's for truck month. That's what Ford is offering. I called Harry and I said, Harry, I just don't think that's enough. So we're also going to be matching your down payments up to $2,000. And I want to be very clear when I say this because a lot of people call in and they say, is that only on used cars or what's the deal? That's on new and that is on pre-owned. That's on every vehicle that we have on the lot here for sale. We're going to match your down payment up to $2,000.
Plus, you got a handful of remaining 25 Fords with the biggest incentives.
Yes, definitely. I have thousands upon thousands of dollars in savings on the remaining 25s that we only have 4, and we're matching your down payment up to $2,000.
0% financing available and matching down payments up to $2,000. Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw.
Winter's here, and as the temperature drops, energy use can go up. That means so can your bills. At Arkansas Oklahoma Gas, we know managing energy costs isn't always simple, and we're here to help. We offer practical energy-saving tips, convenient payment options, and connections to assistance programs to help you through the season. Whether you're planning ahead or looking for extra support, our team is ready to help you explore your options. Learn more at aogc.com/winter.
The spring allergy and hay fever seasons are here, and Law's Drugstore has what you need to safely take care of you and your family. Law's Drugstore can fill and refill your prescriptions, and they have all of the over-the-counter allergy remedies to provide comfort. Call 452-6116 and ask about vaccine shot appointment for shingles, pneumonia, COVID, and whooping cough. Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind the Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Hey, Razorback fans.
Matt Jones here. We're all experiencing higher prices on just about everything, and that includes sunrooms, patio covers, and windows. If you've gotten an estimate on any of these projects and you were shocked by the price, then you need to call Sawyers. They've been making quality, affordable products for 35 years. They're local, they have 100% financing, and a beautiful showroom with all their products displayed. So give my buddy Buzz a call or check them out at Sawyers-Sunrooms.com.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Acuff is one of the top 2 or 3 players in the country. And he's got man's body. He's got an MBA. He's MBA ready, you know, and he loves the pressure. You know, he can put that team on his back. I love Acuff. John Calipari is a good friend and a great coach, but he has produced more NBA guards than anybody.
Coach K on the McAfee Show. Talking about things that you've brought up quite a few times before, Matt Jones. He thinks that Acuff can put the team on his shoulders and on his back and carry them, but you know that you've got to get. I'm so with you on who's got to be Robin for this game tomorrow. Who's got to be Superman's top assistant? It has to be Trevin Brazile. His outside shooting, any sort of inside presence, is going to be huge for this game. And it can be the kind of, to me, it's the kind of opponent where it's like his legacy is almost made at Arkansas for what it's been like for these 4 years, but that could be a legacy-defining game tomorrow for Trevin Brazile.
Oh, no question about it. What an opportunity. And don't overthink it. Just go out there and play, man. Go play your game. Do what you've been doing. We've had a lot of success. We've only lost 2 games in the last month, so we're playing good. Coach has the team at the right, peaking at the right moment. And again, when you have the best player on the floor, you got a chance. Especially when he's a primary ball handler. We got in this at the beginning of the season. It was like, well, Carter Knox was our best player coming back, and I've talked about it. It's tough to be the best player on a team, and that's why the Kansas guy, I think, seems a little selfish. Is it AJ? I can't think of his name, but it's
Darren Peterson.
Yeah, when you don't have the ball and you're not creating for other people, like it's hard when you're just supposed to run your channel, and then you start feeling like, well, I'm not doing enough. I have more to get, instead of just being part of the team. And so it gets tough. But when you're the primary ball handler, And he doesn't overshoot. He doesn't overthink it. He's like, whatever the defense does is wrong, I'll make the right play. He's been a joy to watch all year.
I've seen these accounts out there that are, lauding the sort of offensive sets that you see some teams run, pointing out UConn in a couple of places, and then then you got to watch a John Calipari run offense. It's like I think of John Calipari as a coach that lets players be who they are, but he helps them realize who they are and how good they are, and that's why they go to play for him. If I think of one of the best things that John Calipari does as a head coach, Matt, it's like messaging to the players specifically, and he's so open about this, about what it's a play. It's funny because you're playing a program in Arizona that I think when they created their Twitter account and Sean Miller was the coach, he called it A Players Program. That was the name of their Twitter handle at Arizona, A Players Program. Now, Calipari, it's his program, but he builds it around players specifically, not the school you're at really. It's the players and what's happening to them in the future and the ability to change lives and everything. But I do think that the thing he's best at, Matt, is making – it's funny to think about it in these ways too, because they're all alphas. You go play for John Calipari, you're an alpha. But it's like he gets them to understand themselves the best and believe in themselves in a way that maybe other coaches might not when they're playing against this kind of competition.
Well, you can't have a lot of lie in you if you're going to be a leader of men. And I would say Coach Calipari doesn't have a lot of lie in him because, and look at this, all the players that have played for Coach Cal, whatever school they've played for, they're all Arkansas fans this week. They're all, every one of them are right because they're all Coach Cal. That just tells you all his players that, and nothing's 100%, nothing's understood you capitalization. There's going to be some that get through and some are disgruntled or have a bad all his players love him. That should tell you he's a player's coach.
And not everybody feels that way about their former coach. You feel that way about Coach Nutt.
Same way how Bubba feels about DVH. Norm
Bryan. That's right. I can't remember the name of the quarterback, but it's a former Auburn quarterback that played for Hugh Freeze. And anytime that Freeze loses a game, this guy goes after him on social media. He's not the only one. Think of what you're talking about there, too. But the locker room fell apart with a team that had, some bad chemistry or whatever. Like, how does Cal get credit for creating the space where, and it's the kids who deserve the credit more than anything, like to have such great talents like Darius Acuff and Malik Thomas not just coexist with each other on the team, but actually like play beautiful basketball together. They're the ones that had to, realize to be a great teammate for these other guys. And obviously it's Acuff's team, but Malik's had this great freshman season too. Doesn't Cal get credit for not just recruiting those guys to campus and everything? Be like, oh, they throw money at him. He creates the space and his coaching staff too, for those players to learn who they are, and at the same time, there's no selfishness amongst them. Not this team, not those two guys. And you think about, have they ever been told no before? They had to compromise a little bit to be great teammates. I think Cal deserves so much credit for that too, Matt.
Well, a guy like Nick Pringle starting all year says, man, Ewing's playing better. And maybe he doesn't understand the whole concept, and maybe he does, but I get the selflessness of saying, man, he's playing better. He should start. But you're only playing 7 minutes. Go ahead and start and give us those 7 minutes.
Anybody can point to, he only gets the best players because he pays them. And I don't think that that's the reason why he gets them. The reputation is a reputation for a reason. Just listen to what Coach K said about Cal. And he's even comparing, Cal's record with these incredible guards that have gone on to make millions upon billions in the NBA. And Coach K's had a few guys get into the NBA at the same positions and make a lot of money too. But he's even pointing out to your coach at Arkansas has done that maybe a little bit more and a little bit better than he did. It's kind of wild. 877-377-6963 for our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Ready for this thing to get going, too. 8:45 tomorrow night. Can't get here soon enough. I think we're all about ready for tip-off. There's still another day left. We got to make our picks. You got to get to the hitthatline.com website and make sure you redo your picks for the Sweet 16 and for the Elite 8. You got to make sure you do that before the games get started tomorrow. Otherwise, you won't be part of it. This is the ESPN Arkansas and Mach 1 Motorsports Bracket Challenge Motorcycle Madness giveaway. You get to redo your picks for the Sweet 16 and then the Final Four. And we got all kinds of great prizes from Moix RV, Butler Furniture, Swift's Jewelry, and Twin Peaks in Rogers. Make sure you go to hitthatline.com/bracket and get your picks in for the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8. Back in a moment. We'll wrap up the show. This is Halftime.
Well, Phil and Matt, I just wanted to tell you how great you all are, and I mean that sincerely.
This is Halftime.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off. Or take 5.9% financing for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2026 GMC Canyon for as low as $399 a month with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 Fort Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Bounce on into Crabtree RV Center in Alma, Arkansas for the best deals on new and pre-owned RVs. Whether you're looking for a motorhome, travel trailer, fifth wheel, or toy hauler, we have them all here at Crabtree. So avoid the madness of crowded cities and hotels this summer by taking your family team on the open road with the perfect RV from Crabtree RV Center. Conveniently located at the junction of I-40 and I-49, family owned and operated since 1950. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Hey, this is Damien, and I've grown up around the kitchen at DK Fit Meals. My dad, David, the owner, started this business because he knows you're busy, but you still want food that's fresh, delicious, and actually good for you. Forget the fast food compromises. We're taking customized, ready-to-eat, healthy meals made right here in Fort Smith. Whether you pre-order for the week or ordering something from our grab-and-go frozen meals, we make it easy to stick to your goals. Stop settling and start performing. Get your next week of meals sorted today. Visit DKFitmeals.com, that's DKFitmeals.com, and taste the difference fresh food makes. Fuel your life with DK Fit Meals.
From the trail to the track, Wheeler Power Sports has been taking care of riders for generations. We're your factory-authorized home for Kawasaki, Suzuki, Polaris, KO, and the three-wheeled Slingshot. Looking for used bikes? We have a massive pre-owned inventory, and we're buying. Plus, check out our huge selection of apparel and accessories to gear up for your next ride. Follow us on Facebook to see the latest sales on Polaris Rangers and Kawasaki Z-Series bikes. Wheeler Power Sports and the Wheeler family, taking care of riders for generations in historic downtown Fort Smith.
What's new at the Golf Nut in 2026? A lot. New tailor-made ID4 woods, hybrids, and irons are in stock January 29th. The all-new Ping G440K driver and Ping S259 wedges also arrive January 29th. And coming soon, Callaway Quantum Woods and Hybrids February 13th with irons landing February 27th. Step inside our newly remodeled retail space, check out the simulation bays, and experience our new fitting and lesson bay featuring 3 high-speed cameras filming at 120 frames per second. The Golf Nut, where your best game starts.
Fort Smith, get ready to fondue it at TGI Fridays. We're turning up the flavor with our all-new Fondue It menu. For just $3, you can upgrade your favorite Fridays classic with a warm tableside cheese pour served on a sizzling cast iron skillet. Picture this: loaded potato skins, a crispy chicken sandwich, the bacon cheeseburger, or the bold big queso energy burger, all finished with rich poblano queso fondue. Or go next level with our truffle mushroom burger, topped with smooth Alfredo fondue. TGI Fridays Fort Smith. And here, it's always Friday.
Is your bracket busted? Don't worry, you can still redeem yourself in the ESPN Arkansas and Mach 1 Motorsports Bracket Challenge Motorcycle Madness giveaway by filling out a Sweet 16 bracket. Go to hitthatline.com/bracket. Our bracket challenge would not be possible without our presenting sponsors: Moix RV of Arkansas, Butler Furniture, Swift Jewelry, and Twin Peaks in Rogers. We'd also like to thank our participating sponsors: Brick Garage Doors, The Right Autoplex, Shelter Insurance Agent Chris Dooley, Century Bank of the Ozarks, Hirsch Feed and Farm Supply, and West Ark Yamaha.
In the summertime when the weather is hot, you can stretch right up and touch the sky. When the weather's fine, you got women on your mind. Have a drink, have a drive, go and see what you can find. If the daddy's rich, take her out for a meal. If the daddy's poor, just do what you feel. Speed along the lane, do a turn over 25. When the sun goes down, you can make it good in LA Pie.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Oh, we got a little halftime homework quickly here for the unit for tomorrow. We got to do our pronunciation bowl again tomorrow, though, unit, for the Sweet 16. And there are some names on this Arizona team that Arkansas plays tomorrow that are a little bit difficult to pronounce. Especially two of the starters, two of their big guys, Krivas and Karkankov.
Oh.
Yeah. And then they get some other ones which are interesting, too. There are there's like 9 players on the Arizona roster that have to be on the pronunciation guide. And that does involve some of the guys that play a lot of minutes for them. Hogs have a really easy team to pronounce, and I'm sure that Kevin Harlan and the group are really happy about that. That's halftime homework. We'll do it tomorrow. It's brought to you by Flyway Brewing in Fayetteville. That's your basketball headquarters all throughout the tournament. $3 16-ounce pours, $2 off stem pours. Wings and fries are $10. Chip baskets are $3. That's Flyway Brewing Company in Fayetteville on Zion Road. Make it your next stop. And here's another running theme for us on our show over the last 3 years, Matt Jones. Joe Flacco has re-signed with the Bengals. He is back again for, I believe that'll be his 17th year in the NFL. And he says, I think teams are dumb for not signing me as a starter. And truthfully, when you look at how he's played as a backup the last few years, I think he's got a point.
And I've always been a Joe Flacco fan. One of the things that he had when he was in the league was when he was in his prime, so to speak, he had a top 3 arm. Like his arm strength was top 3. You know, Matthew Stafford's another guy you think. Tom Brady never had the strongest arms. Peyton Manning never had the but that when you can make a team defend every blade of grass, then they keep you out there. That's the thing with Phillip Rivers. When he came back, you're like, he couldn't throw it more than 9 yards. You know, so it's his arm strength hasn't let him down yet, and that'd be the thing. Once he can't make those throws anymore, then it'd be tough. But he's still, man, his arm strength, he's got a live arm.
61.7 completion percentage in 9 games last year. 1,664 yards, 13 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. At the age of 40.
He's seen it all, too. You know, what we talk about is he has seen – there's nothing new when you're giving him a blitz or giving him a zone or giving him man, whatever you want to – he's seen it all.
He also seems to really like being in the AFC North. I think he's spent like most of his career in that division specifically. The only one of those teams he hasn't played for is Pittsburgh, and they can't seem to beat him anymore. Of course, that's also the city that he's from, so go figure. Great stuff today. Really enjoyed this. We've learned the power of pickle juice shots, and I'm very happy and proud about that. I could get you to drink a pickle juice shot, Matt Jones, but I know I'm not getting you to eat a chocolate off the floor like Bubba did yesterday.
Go out there and catch a lunker, man. Y'all have fun catching some fish. Let me know how it goes.
To let you know how the steaks at Herman's are too, although I think you know what that tastes like. You know what that. Yeah, we're going to have a good old-fashioned boys' day today. That's right. Got my 13-year-old son. We got no baseball game to worry about. There's a few hundred fish on the White River that should be very petrified of us at the moment. I'll probably have to get pickle juice shots. That'll work for fishing too.
Yes.
It's going to work for everything. Just about everything.
Throw some on your lure. Put a little pickle juice and then throw it out there. They can't get enough.
I'm going to send you a photo of me throwing a pickle juice shot into the water and then see what happens. Probably get arrested for that. Great stuff. Enjoyed it. Have the Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast coming out in just a few moments. Thank you very much, C Unit. Ruskin and Zach will take over for the next few hours as well, and we'll see you tomorrow for another award-winning edition of Halftime. For Matt Jones, Christian Johnston, I am Phil Elson. Thanks for listening, and have a great Wednesday. Woo!